What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Apology Languages, episode 2.
This is episode 2.
2.
No, I lied. This is episode 3.
'Cause we
but
did the
apology
intro.
language 2.
Okay. And this is accepting responsibility.
Correct.
That's right.
Oopsie daisies. I was listening to crime documentaries yesterday when I was working on my notes for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, I look so artsy tonight.
Do you want to do the TikTok thing since you're no longer in the beta program and they're not going to throttle your content?
Forgot about that. I am very not prepared. I was in the Discord chatting it up.
Were you? Is that what took you so long to change your clothes?
Yes. I was talking to my besties. I hate that I said that. I'll never say that again.
Did you get it out of your system?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did. I wish it didn't take so long to straighten my hair because I like how I look with straight hair.
People are loving it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh my God, thank you.
So while she's getting that set up, guys, you haven't seen it yet, but we have spent the last 3 days of our life redoing our home.
Oh.
And we got a 16-foot computer desk that operates as 2 stations set up.
Yes.
And we've been trying to get cable management under control and still edit and still record because we recorded episode 25 today. Doing a lot.
Yeah, we are.
Getting rid of furniture. The kitchen table's gone. My uplift desk that was in the back room that my computer was sitting on is now gone. Her desk has been swapped out. As you can tell, it's black now instead of wood. And we are making changes.
Yeah.
I got a quote for the whiskey shelf unofficially, and I'm not looking forward to the actual quote because it's going to be expensive.
We moved that angled shelf into that little area.
Yep.
So now I'm finally getting my little plant area going in the massive window that we have.
I think it would be really good for us to do like reveals for this shit because we talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
And just throw it in Discord or put it on Patreon. Oh, we still have to record for Patreon this week.
We can do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll be home by noon 30.
Yeah. Hopefully those wire baskets will come tomorrow so I can mount them to the bottom of those desks.
Welcome to TikTok, guys. Just so you're aware, we are currently live on YouTube. We are going over the second apology language, accepting responsibility. I appreciate you guys joining tonight. Oh my gosh, we're up to almost 700.
Yeah, it's because you're no longer in the beta program.
That's so dope.
It's wild.
So if you guys don't want to miss the whole episode, make sure you go over to our YouTube channel, the number 2 Be Better. We are currently live over there.
Somebody asked us to turn the volume up. Our volume's up. I'm at 29 dB. I can't go any higher than that or else you guys will start hearing air conditioners and shit, which means you need to move the microphone a little closer to your mouth or speak up, woman.
I'll try my best.
Project your voice.
I'm trying so hard to speak with a softer tone.
Yeah.
I've been really trying to check my volume. I had a conversation with the kids last night, and I was like, do you guys feel like I yell a lot? And they were like, yeah, sometimes. And I was like, okay. And they're like, well, sometimes you don't. I was like, okay, well, that's good. Well, I want you to know I am sorry for the times I yell at you. And we had a conversation back and forth, and we made an agreement that they are going to help me by helping them. And they are going to start listening and not make me repeat myself because they don't like it when I yell at them.
Yeah. Got a new patron.
Patron.
Yep. It's a new segment idea. Plants with peaches. Just one more thing to record.
You guys, I know I look kind of pretty okay. Like, I'm kind of well put together on these book breakdowns. I got my notes. I read the thing. Like, I'm doing it. When it comes to plants, though, it's really just me YouTubing things, going on 2 different plant apps that I have, and praying that I don't kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know very little when it comes to botany and taking care of plants. Doing pretty okay. A lot of my stuff has new growth. I do have 2 things in my plant graveyard, though.
Yeah.
I've killed 2 things out of my, 20 plants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need event in Discord. We got a lot of new faces in here tonight. I keep looking over and seeing first
New
live.
people?
First live. Hell yeah,
Ooh.
first live.
Hell yeah. Ooh, people here from TikTok. Okay. But it sounds better being over here versus on TikTok.
Probably. I did turn the gain up a little bit more on this. I'm not willing to push it any further than I have. Because I can see me coming through your microphone. So if you guys can't hear us, this is it. This is the best I can do. Anything more than this, and it's going to get weird sounds in here.
Is that better?
I mean, you're not topping out.
No.
So, excuse me. All right, let's jump into this.
Okay, I am not on the page I need to be on.
All right. Well, while you do that, guys, just so you guys know, the way that these live streams work for us is we will be doing the apology language things first. We will be doing super chats after we do the apology language, unless it's $50 or more. If it's a $50 or more super chat, we will interrupt what we're doing to read it. So in the event that you guys want to chime your thoughts into the conversation at hand, $50 super chat pops up on my screen. We'll pause, we'll address it, we'll move on. We've already received 2 super chats. For those of you guys who can see, as the super chats come through, your name will end up on the screen.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I like that. That's pretty neat. Okay, so getting into the second apology language, as we've said, is accepting responsibility. So I wanted to start this off by giving 3 separate examples. First example is an employee is late to work. This is a kind of a consistent thing. I would say maybe once or twice a week they show up late.
So that employee has no self-discipline.
Correct.
Got it. That employee ain't going to have a job much longer either.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that morning, before getting to work, boss had a fight with his wife. Already going through it. Gets to work. Employee's late again. Shit's behind. More stuff on his plate. He unloads on the employee using unprofessional words.
So the boss also has a lack of self-discipline and should not be in a leadership role. Got it. I'm paying attention.
So he said things that were true, yet he said them with a mask of anger and very cutting words. Right? Second scenario. Janet has a hard time keeping track of her schedules.
Damn it, Janet.
I love that movie. I know you hate it.
I do so much.
I really enjoy Rocky
But there was an
Horror.
opportunity there and I took it.
I fucked with my chair.
I know.
Okay. So Janet's always late to things, especially on the weekend. Weekends are an easy breezy time. She doesn't care to look at her calendar. That's weekday stuff. So on this particular Saturday, she's late yet again to another HOA meeting.
Okay.
She's part of the council. I don't know HOAs. I'm making this up right now. So she's late to the HOA meeting.
You know that Tim's wife is on the HOA board in their neighborhood?
Really?
Yeah.
Is her name Janet?
No.
Oh, thank gosh.
You know his wife.
Oh, I thought you were talking about another Tim. You know a couple of them. There's
Right.
a handful of Tims.
They're
in your
numbered,
life.
though.
You're right. That's Tim too. Okay. So as she's driving late to this HOA meeting, again, she's thinking of a million reasons that she can give to these people as to why she's late. I just went mountain climbing. I've been remodeling my house. My car was getting repairs. Whatever she could say to give an excuse as to why she was late. Third scenario. Teenage boy gets his wisdom teeth pulled. I do not fuck with teeth pain.
I don't do the teeth thing any period.
Miserable. I hate it. Get a little bit cranky when I'm in pain. So mom, being a doting mother, is staying on top of his pain medications, making sure he's getting what he needs. And he is just agitated. She brings him his pain medications and he swats them out of her hand in a fit of just, I am over all of this. You need to get away from me. In the first scenario, he had unkind words. In the second one, there was a failure to come through. And in the third one, there was lashing out. All of them felt that their excuses covered their need to apologize. So in the first one, what are you smirking at?
So you're saying that not only do they lack self-discipline, they also don't have accountability whatsoever.
Correct.
Okay.
So first scenario, even though he was accurate in the things that he was saying, he didn't have to be an asshole about it. Second scenario, she does not follow through. Everybody knows that she is unreliable and she does not care for other people's time. And the third one, that is just letting your interior emotions affect the way you treat people around you. How are we doing? Is everybody following along? All making sense so far?
I mean, I'm following.
All right, dope. Ooh. Doop. Okay. So, as everybody should know by this point, an apology means you are taking responsibility for the actions that have caused somebody else some sort of negative emotion. Oh, so I make my notes, right? And I wait for it to trigger a thought in me. So
Is that why there was such a long pause there?
Yeah.
And you were just staring at the paper?
Yes.
Okay. I thought you were like in really deep thought and you were going to hit me with something super profound.
No, I'm
and I was
processing.
waiting.
That was super cute. There was a little cartoon heart on my head with a crown.
Yeah.
That was adorable. I like that. So I made that note and I read the little blurb from the book. And that made me go into the thought process of manipulation and manipulating them to take responsibility for an action that from their perception is wrong. So an example of how it could be manipulated into taking responsibility for actions that you don't need to. Dude plans a guy's night out and he knows who's going to be there. My 4 best friends from college, whom you've known for 10 years, are going to be there, and that's who I'm going to be hanging out with. We're going to have some beers, watch a game, and I'll be home before midnight. So he's at boys' night, doing whatever they're doing, yucking it up. And then Kyle shows up out of nowhere. Haven't heard from Kyle in a while, and Kyle gives an update of his whole life to the boys.
Also gets drunk and punches hole in the wall.
I would hope not.
He is Kyle.
He is a Kyle. So after that, man comes home and he's super excited to update his woman on everything that just happened. And he's giving her the rundown and he was like, he's done all these dope things. He climbed Everest, whatever the fuck Kyle did. And then the wife goes, you didn't tell me Kyle was going to be there. So you just lied to me? Why would you not text me and tell me that Kyle would show up? So do other people just show up randomly to your guys' nights? Are you having women show up? Why would you not? You're looking at me like that's crazy, but I have heard women manipulate situations like that.
I'm looking at you because that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Because that shit does happen.
It does happen.
And Kyle showed up,
Mm-hmm.
not Karen. So
Right.
if it's Kyle that's showing up, what does it matter? Unless Kyle brought 5 single women with him
Mm-hmm.
to match the 5 dudes that are there, does it really matter? The question is if it wasn't Kyle and it was Karen or women did show up, would he leave and go home?
Right.
Or would he stay and then lie?
Well, hopefully he would leave.
Yeah.
In that situation, though, she is asking for an apology for the fact that he lied to her when he didn't.
Right.
Kyle showed up randomly, gave the rundown in the last year or whatever when he hasn't seen the dudes, gets home, and he's super hyped to tell you about it. If he's trying to lie or admit something, he wouldn't be like, oh my God, baby, you'll never believe who showed up at guys' night.
Yeah.
So in a situation where somebody is telling you their perception of what happened and they're telling you that you are wrong or you have done something wrong and that is not reality, they're just perceiving it through their filter, their cognitive bias, you apologizing to them is taking ownership for actions that you didn't do.
I need you to say that again because that was pretty profound. Say that again because this could also borderline in gaslighting.
Okay. So I don't know if I can do that verbatim again.
Try.
Okay.
Fuck around and find out.
So in a situation where somebody is coming to you and asking you for an apology for an action that is perceived in their reality as wrong when they are viewing it through their own cognitive bias, when the actual reality is they are the only one perceiving it that way and they are overreacting or being overly emotional, and you apologize for that, you are accepting responsibility for actions that are not real.
Okay.
Or that you did not do.
Glad you clarified that because I heard that a little bit differently last time, which is why I said the gaslighting thing. That's really wild when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you really think about that for a minute, when you have a conversation with somebody and they're upset about something and you apologize, you're taking ownership for something you didn't do. But in the
Right.
event that you don't apologize, you're like, hey, that's not how that played out. you're making this into something it isn't. That's where the gaslighting thing comes in.
Mm-hmm.
So where does that conversation happen? Because we've done the gaslighting episode. I think that comes out next week or tomorrow. You'd have to ask
I have no
AJ.
idea.
I don't either. He does all that shit, but it's been recorded. It's done.
So I would say that falls into trying to force your false reality onto people. Forcing your victimhood onto other people's reality so that they reflect it back to you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I wouldn't say that's gaslighting.
Well, the gaslighting aspect of that is when you try to explain the conversation back to them, that scenario where she's trying to make him out to be a liar. If he apologizes and then tries to explain what happens, that's where she could go, well, you're gaslighting me right now. You're trying to change the narrative to tell me that that's not the way it played out and that this isn't really the way the situation was and blah, 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 blah. When in reality, what he's trying to do is explain Kyle doesn't come out very often. It was a fluke thing that he showed up. I was super fucking excited to see him and was really glad to tell you about it. And now you're making me feel like shit.
Right.
What's also going to happen moving forward is when those conversations happen, he's not going to be as likely to convey what's going on in his personal life because of the way that that woman is responding to it. Why would you want to engage with somebody who treats you like that, especially when you're excited?
Right.
It's like coming home and your dog being super excited, wagging his tail and jumping on you so you kick it. Like, that's really how I viewed that.
So many times, one could view admitting a wrong as a weakness. When in actuality, admitting that you have done something wrong and acknowledging that action and going to change it is how you grow. So it is completely opposite of what a weakness it is. It's how you develop yourself into a better human being, into a stronger, more mental fortitude of a being. Admitting wrongdoing is correlated to one's sense of self-worth. This thought process is often planted in childhood when a child is punished or condemned, and the definition of condemned is to express complete disapproval, typically in public, or shamed for minor offenses, as an example, spilling a glass of water, and you lose your mind on this child for spilling water. The self-worth is diminished. So if your significant other has a hard time taking accountability for their responsibilities, they could view that as them being bad or being wrong when all they want to do is be perfect for you.
I'm going to interrupt you. You know that when parents do that shit to their kids, they traumatize their children for life.
Yeah.
You can see it. There are people who, like, their hands will shake in certain situations. And that could be one of those things where they're carrying water and their hands are a little uneasy because they're so afraid of spilling it because of something that happened when they were little. And they may not even realize it's a thing for them. We were talking about this earlier. When I edit with my headphones on because I know I have to replay those sounds and replay the clips and replay things that have already passed because of the noise that came through it. And I didn't have my headphones in. And I looked over at you sitting there and I was like, is this okay? Like, am I annoying you right now? Like, I was really super insecure about it in the moment because you could hear that repetitive, annoying ass fucking clip. And you were like, it's fine. Why? And I was like, because it just dawned on me that, like, I edit with my headphones on so that you don't have to hear this because I don't want to get in trouble. Because that annoying sound effects and the psychobabble and the nonsense that happened in my childhood, I get screamed at for that shit. It was a total realization today. And I only brought it up because you mentioned the whole spill in the water thing.
Yeah.
When our kids make a mess, we don't get mad about it.
No,
they're fucking kids.
Get a paper towel.
Yeah, get a towel. You made a mess. Now we got to clean it. Let me show you how to do it. So the next time this happens, you don't have to come tell me. You can just clean the shit up.
Right. Okay. We're maintaining at like 600 on TikTok.
Love that.
That's so dope. So if you are somebody or you are with somebody who is unable to take accountability because that is a childhood trauma for them, they view that as them being bad or not good, they're an adult. So they will be able to gain the understanding that these negative emotional patterns do not hold them hostage. So I've been getting into meditation, and one of the analogies or metaphors that they gave in the meditation is that your thoughts are like clouds, right? So the sky is always blue, even when it's thundering and raining and there's massive hurricanes and storms. Above those clouds is still a blue sky. So your thoughts have to be passing clouds. Sometimes they're going to be larger and they're going to hide the sun for a little bit longer. But eventually that cloud is going to pass and the sky is going to be blue again. So once you understand that and you're able to process your emotions as thoughts versus as something that controls you, that's when you gain that understanding and you're able to accept the accountability without correlating it to you being a shitty person. I just realized how mentally exhausting this is for me because I just said all of that. Now I'm like, out of breath.
Good thing you got a backup over there.
I know. I planned ahead.
Yeah.
Should have grabbed a straw because y'all are going to see me struggle with my neck drinking this. How's everybody enjoying it so far? I'm parched. Think I might take a hit too.
AJ said on the next natural clip we should cut TikTok, and this is your natural clip. He literally just sent it. So now that we've naturally stopped talking and we have a little break, you should probably cut TikTok. Tell everybody to YouTube.
So TikTok, I'm going to be ending this. So if you would like to finish watching the live and hearing the rest of the information, go to our YouTube channel. The number 2, Be Better. Promise you don't want to miss the rest of this because at the end of it, we do start interacting with you guys and actually answering your questions. So I appreciate all of you popping by. Thank you for enjoying the content. Thank you for the continued support on all platforms. And I hope to see you on YouTube. Bye. Fantastic, because my phone is super low on battery.
Yeah.
Did you guys, I don't know if you guys are going to remember this. Back when PewDiePie really, really started on YouTube and he would play all of his horror games, he would play Outlast. And in playing Outlast, you have to find batteries to make the flashlights work. And every time he found batteries, he would go, when the sun is gone, in the morning's on batteries or whatever. And now every time I think of the word batteries, that song that he sang like 15 years ago plays in my mind.
You know, in 15 years, somebody's going to be like, hey, do you remember that To Be Better podcast that used to be a thing?
Remember that bitch that said beneficial?
Yeah. Now every time says it. I was not going there, but you fucking did.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, man. No, we jumped up a bunch. Oh, you guys are here from TikTok.
Yep.
Welcome, TikTokers. Thank you for joining. If you like the live, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We pop up randomly and do lives.
Yeah. For you guys who are actually here on a regular basis, starting next Wednesday. The Wednesday after, Wednesday the 31st at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going to start doing our Wednesday streams live. So instead of doing pre-recorded Split the Differences, we'll be doing Split the Difference number 3 live on the 31st.
Yes, yes.
Yep.
All right. Feel better. Let's go.
Yeah, run it.
So in the book, I highlighted specifically reality check, there is no perfect adult. And I gave some examples, right? So there's Donald Trump. When he opens his mouth, he says some things he shouldn't. Overall, I think he's a very good businessman. Should choose his words a little bit better.
Yeah.
Then there's Ellen DeGeneres. Everybody fucking loved her. And then they heard some things about how she conducts herself on her show, and she's not as great as everybody thought. And then there's the Kardashians. Everybody either loves them or hates them. And everybody can agree that they have some pretty differing morals than everybody else. Yeah. Me. I am not a perfect adult. So anybody that is on a pedestal for anybody out there, no matter how great you think somebody is, they have made mistakes. They have things that they lay awake at night thinking about. Everybody has regrets. I think that's a very key thing in remembering when it comes to apologizing to somebody, that everybody's fucked up.
Yeah.
everybody has had to eat crow and say, I really shouldn't have done that and I'm sorry. A mature adult accepts the responsibility of their own failures and breaks the harmful patterns of childhood. An immature adult will forever rationalize their poor behavior. Excuse me. Such rationalization typically takes the form of placing blame onto others. They or you may admit that what you did was wrong, but it was because of somebody else's irresponsible or immature actions. How many times have you heard that? Just across the board when it comes to people giving apologies, even like public apologies.
A lot.
The only thing coming to my mind right now is like that Budweiser thing that they passed. And they're like, yeah, it wasn't us. It was a company we hired, but we're sorry it happened.
Right.
That happens a lot, especially like with YouTuber apologies. I'm sorry I did this, but
yeah,
X, Y, and Z. Being able to say I was wrong is a huge step to being a mature and successful adult. So, I would want to say majority of the people who have found wealth in their life and live very comfortable lifestyles are able to admit, damn, I did make a pretty fucked up business move. I shouldn't do that again.
Do you know why that is?
Because it's growth.
Yeah, because we learn from it. Because
right.
when those issues happen and there's a huge fuck up, somebody's accountable for that fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter who did it. It happened.
Right.
You have to learn from that, figure out where the chink in the armor is, and then fix that shit. Mm-hmm. So being able to take accountability in business is mandatory. You start throwing shade on other people and pointing the finger at everyone else instead of going, okay, I should have caught that. You're never going to learn. You're never going to progress. You're never going to make any more than you do. You're not going to climb the corporate ladder. You are just going to be that guy that stays in that position always because the people that are paying attention sees that you can't take accountability.
Mm-hmm. Many need to hear, I was wrong, I'm taking accountability, and their apologies when they're receiving one. It is a huge part of the reconciliation process.
Is your phone Wi-Fi connected? People saying that their shit's freezing up.
Okay. So a quote from the book is, understanding this reality can make all the difference in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I highlighted reality. Nobody perceives life the same as anybody else on the planet because of the cognitive biases that everybody has.
Right.
It is fine-tuned to your personal experiences in life throughout childhood, adulthood, everything that you have taken in through your eyes, your ears, through whatever sense is put through a filter before it reaches your brain for you to process. So when it comes to understanding a disruption or an argument, it doesn't even have to be a significant other. It could be a mother, it could be a friend. You have to literally take a step out of your reality and put yourself in theirs and listen to everything they are telling you. Otherwise, you will never fully understand.
Right.
And even if it's an illogical thought pattern or it's one that makes you feel like you are under attack, you still have to take a step back and listen and understand.
Yeah. That's like one of the biggest things that we talk about with communication. Mm-hmm. If you can't put yourself in their shoes and show empathy as to what they're going through, nothing's ever going to get resolved. Mm-hmm. Because you're not going to realize like, hey, this person that I'm fucking madly in love with, that I want to spend the rest of my life with, is fucking hurting right now. Let me get defensive. Because that's what's going to happen. And unless you go, wait a minute, they're really fucking hurting. Let me figure out what the root is and stop feeling about you. Mm-hmm. And listen to feel, you know what I mean? Like that's everything that you just said is exactly what we talk about with communication all the time. Right. If you can't do that, you're not going to really ever understand what somebody's going through. You're going to placate the situation to move past it.
So I am going to read a little blurb from the book. And just so we don't get in trouble, this is the 5 Apology Languages by Gary Chapman and Jennifer Thomas. So, in the book, It says, the only problem is Rich is never willing to apologize. When he gets upset because things don't go his way, he lashes out at me in anger. Instead of apologizing, he blames me for his anger. It's like he can do no wrong. To which he turns to Rich and he said, I don't think it's right to apologize for something when it's not your fault. I do get mad, but it's because she puts me down and makes me feel like I'm not a good father. I feel like I can't please her no matter what I do. Do you have any thoughts on that before I get into my...
I mean, you really want me to go there? Because that's almost like an email that we would get.
Okay, so I'm going to do my blurb and then I'm going to
Okay.
let you do your thing. So...
It's like we've done this before.
In saying I don't think it's right to apologize for something when it's not your fault, I don't care what the situation is. They could have done something to really piss you off. If you react in any way that is in malice, an eye for an eye, you start yelling at them, you start cussing at them, you start calling names, you have to apologize for your reaction to their action.
Right.
I don't care how hurt you are, how mad you are, how frustrated you are. You need to take a step back and be like, okay, I'm about to do some fucked up shit. And this is not who I want to be as a human being. They can act that way. I'm not going to. When you step out of line, even if they've done you wrong, you do owe an apology because you slipped out of character.
Right.
I disagreed with Rich's mindset on that.
I do too.
Okay.
I think that's a very, I think that's a very toxic mindset.
Yeah.
If you are not able to control your emotions on a level like that as a man, that's a problem for me.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody comes at me sideways, I'm going to stop what's going on and choose to respond to what's happening. I'm not going to react to it. I'm going to evaluate everything that was just said. I'm going to respond accordingly. It doesn't always mean that things need to be hostile. Sometimes that conversation can simply be like, wait, what did I do to deserve that?
Right.
Not, I can't fucking believe you, blah, 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 blah. Those situations are going to destroy a relationship. Not a sexual relationship, but a personal relationship between two people. If you did that to somebody that's in your life that's not in your relationship or in your household, do you think they're going to tolerate that?
No. So I made a note of majority of the time, both of you have something to apologize for. The truth is neither of you likely had a goal of hurting the other, yet you were still unkind to one another.
Right.
So, in this particular instance, their argument is a result of Rich working too much. Wife feels like he's not home enough, he's not spending enough time with their son, he's not a good father. And that's what she is saying to him when she says, you never spend time with your son. He's not going to know who you are. Your son doesn't even recognize you. He just turned 2 and you're not here for any of the milestones. It's like he doesn't even have a dad. The end goal is to have him spend more time with his son. And using harsh words like that, what you're doing is undermining him as a husband. You're undermining him as a father. You're lowering his self-worth. And you're pretty much telling him you're already failed. I view you as less of a man. Because of the way that it was worded, the only way he can respond in his mind is a defense.
Right. That's a horrible thing to hear.
It is. Even though she is using attacking words to come at him, responding with anger is not the response.
Right.
So in that situation, they both do owe an apology.
That's going to drive a wedge between everyone in that house.
Mm-hmm. It is. Another key point in that conversation with Rich and his wife, and the reason he would get so angry when she would speak to him like that, is because that was his parental example growing up. And Gary Chapman said, to avoid what your parents did, you have to change what you're doing.
Right.
When you follow in their footsteps, the only result you're going to get is what they had. So if you want a loving relationship and a relationship where you have good communication and you're open with each other, you have to practice that.
Right.
It doesn't just fall in your lap. You're not just going to be able to magically one day talk about how you feel. It's a lot of practice. It's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of painful work sometimes.
I'm going to chime in. So one of the best things that you people can do for your kids is to have a relationship with your children. Mm-hmm. And that means not punishing them just to punish them, or trying to control them because they're not doing exactly what you want them to do. We have, 3 more of these love languages, apology languages. When we're done with this, we're going to get into the choice theory book.
Correct.
Choice theory is not going to be like a 4 or 5 thing. It's going to be a much longer series. If you guys watch nothing else on our channel, you owe it to yourselves to chime in on Thursday nights when we start that. Back to you.
Oh, thank you. Another blurb from the book. So, he talks about the agree and disagree approach. And a lot of you guys have a hard time understanding this approach.
I don't even know what you're talking about. So, I'm
the agree disagree approach.
I didn't read this.
Right.
It's the first time I've heard that terminology. Is this agree to disagree?
No.
Okay.
So this is pretty much what I talked about forgiveness versus acceptance. So I agree that I have the right to feel hurt, angry, disappointed, and frustrated, or whatever else I may be feeling. I don't choose my feelings, I simply experience them. On the other hand, I disagree with the idea that because of my feelings, I have the right to hurt someone else with my words or behavior.
Hang on. Can you go back to the feelings? I don't. What did you say?
I agree that I have the right to feel hurt, angry, disappointed, and frustrated, or whatever else I may be feeling. I don't choose my feelings, I simply experience them.
Okay. I strongly disagree with that. Not that that matters. Well, I'll totally come back to it. That's you make a decision on how you react to things. So the way that you feel and the way that you react to your feelings is a fucking choice. It's not something that just happens to you.
Right. So what he's saying is that he doesn't get to choose the emotion he feels when he has an input of something. If something causes him anxiety, he can't just choose not to have that anxiety.
Anxiety is a physiological response and not an emotion, though.
Okay. Let me finish reading those.
I tried. You asked me to go.
On the other hand, I disagree with the idea that because of my feelings, I have the right to hurt someone else with my words or behavior.
Okay.
So he disagrees with doing a reaction. Mm-hmm. So what you were just talking about is what the disagree portion is.
Okay. That's not what I was disagreeing with.
Okay.
It's okay, though.
What are you disagreeing with?
Your emotions aren't something that just happens to you. Your feelings aren't something that just happens to you. It's a choice. You choose to feel those things. If somebody says something to you and you get frustrated by it, you're making the decision to get frustrated. You have the ability, the cognitive ability to go, you're an idiot in your brain, and this is why you're acting like this, and not get mad about it. Mm-hmm. Or you can be like, you're a fucking dumbass and fly off the handle for no reason. The way that you respond to something external is a decision. I truly believe that your feelings and the way that you respond to your feelings is a choice. It's not a reactive, you don't get a say over it. You do. Sometimes it's a lot fucking harder than others, but I personally believe that's a choice. If I didn't believe it's a choice, every time you did anything that triggered my BPD, I could fly off the handle, blame my borderline, and be like, fuck it, I have borderline. That's not how that works. Right. That's what I was getting at.
Okay.
So I just disagree with that statement where he's saying his emotions happen to him. I personally just don't believe that.
So he didn't say that they just happen. There's something that we experience.
Right.
So we can have that initial reaction of anger or whatever distinctive animal brain reaction we have. What he disagrees with is acting on that and that it's excused by that.
Right. I agree with that. And I actually think that's healthy that he said that. Mm-hmm. For everybody that's watching right now, Peaches just got frustrated with me on camera.
I did. I did.
I know.
You're still cute, though.
I can read you like a book. You don't even have to hold it. I know.
Okay. So simply saying, I'm going to be better is not enough. It's going to be hard work. In 2 weeks, when you're shitty, you have to, 1, catch it and acknowledge it. Or 2, when your SO catches it, you have to accept the fact that you slipped up and you have to apologize for it.
Okay.
So just saying, I'm going to be better. And for the next 2 weeks, everything is on point. You're doing great. Everything is fantastic. That excitement to change and the want to be new is going to die off.
Right.
That's when that discipline comes in, when you make the active choice to continue doing it when you don't want to. And you're accepting the fact that you're not a perfect human being. You're going to slip up. You're going to reoffend them. And you're going to have to acknowledge that and apologize and continue to work on it.
Right.
You have anything you want to add to that?
Nope.
Okay. A point he made in the book that yelling at one's wife is not kind, loving, tender, or positive, so therefore it is wrong.
Agreed.
In the Bible, it says that people like to make that argument. Well, in the Bible, it just says that women are submissive and that they have to obey their husbands and all this stuff. It also says that the husband has to love his wife as Jesus loved the church.
Right.
Or has to serve his wife the way Jesus served the church. What?
I love that. Keep talking.
So that's a really big thing in the New Testament, that you have to be compassionate to your wife. You have to be understanding and loving and speak to her in kind words. So if you're not doing those things, you have to admit the fact that you are doing wrong by your wife. And a lot of dudes are going to have a hard time admitting that.
A lot of dudes are going to have a hard time admitting a lot of things.
If you're failing as a husband, you need to acknowledge that and apologize.
Yep.
And the same goes for wives. If you are failing as a wife and you're being vindictive and you're throwing your man's past in his face and you're not acknowledging the fact that, you know what, maybe I have slipped up a little bit too, you're failing as a wife.
Right.
And I hope y'all are offended by that. So to the wife who couldn't understand how he could yell at her by making snarky comments, you're lowering his self-esteem, you're emasculating him, and his wife is saying you are not good enough. So if a man is super calm and he hears that every day for the next 2 years, and nothing I ever do is good enough, and she's never satisfied with what I do, and all I am is just a fucking paycheck to her, that fuse is going to get shorter, shorter, and shorter, to the point to where he's going to lose himself. He's going to lose the respect not only for him, but for the marriage. And he's not going to care about what happens anymore.
And what do you think it's going to do to the marriage in terms of what the wife views him as?
Like a child.
Yeah, because she's going to see a shell of a man and not the man that she married.
Yeah.
And it comes down to the inability to communicate with each other properly.
Mm-hmm. So I just have a question. In general, anybody who wants to answer. How many times did you make excuses instead of actually just apologizing and owning that you fucked up? When was the last time you went to your significant other and said, I did this. I know it was wrong. I've given you excuses for it in the past. Tonight, I am vowing to you that I'm going to be better and I'm going to work on it. That would save a marriage.
It could. If the actions followed, it absolutely could. That accountability in that is huge, especially if they're not in the middle of conflict.
Right.
This comes down to the apologizing when you do something wrong versus when you get caught.
Mm-hmm.
That mindset is big. So if you do something wrong and you step in and you're like, oh, I really fucked up.
Yeah.
This is what happened. It won't happen again. I feel super guilty about it. That's a whole lot different than when they find out that this shit happened and you have to make excuses as to why to try to cover your ass because you're in trouble. Yep.
And that's it.
Really?
Yep. It's been an hour. Is that not good enough for you?
No, it's not. What am I going to do for the rest of my night? No more talking?
We have super chats.
You have to read them then.
Why?
So I can hear you talk.
Oh. Okay, someone send me super chats.
I don't know if AJ can do that or not.
I don't know where everything is. I just show
AJ,
up.
you can send the supers to me. I'll read them. You guys have questions about the love languages before we read the super chats? Now's the time to ask. Yes, the apology languages.
Did you guys enjoy that? Was that insightful? Did you feel like there was information there? I'm asking you specifically, babe.
I thought you were talking. I'm over here looking at the chat to see if people are responding to you. The apology languages things for me is difficult compared to the love language because I made it very clear when I took the quiz, like I was 100% changed behavior.
Yeah.
Because action is everything. You can say whatever you want to say until you actually start making changes. That doesn't help me.
Right.
So, and you were the same way. Yours was also 100% on change behavior.
Correct.
But I know that there are times where an apology is a sincere apology. And I know that there's times that an apology is only being said to avoid conflict. And I don't, so like I'm struggling with a lot of this because I want to pick the situation apart to find out what the actual root of the issue is from these things that people have sent into the author of this book, because it's not as simple as just an I'm sorry.
Right.
Knowing that you can apologize to someone and that the behavior may not change doesn't work for me. So knowing what the actual issue is means that the actual issue can be resolved versus trying to modify behavior, guessing at what the problem is. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. AJ just sent the supers, so let's start there, I guess.
Fantastic.
First super chat of the day. Love y'all. That was from Victoria.
Thank you.
Danielle said, blasting the live on my 20-minute drive home. Hope other drivers are paying attention. Cerulean Firefly said, it won't let me use the words, but do the things and support the To Be Better Nation. Thumbs up, bell. I don't know what that one is. I guess that one's share. I don't speak emoji, guys. I'm semi-dumb here. Zach, $5. TikTok and other folks, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell. Slug sent $5 with a fox dog looking thing. I don't know. Alpaca bowl.
Is that a marijuana reference?
Yes, it is.
I love that.
Come on, these two need the super chats for these conversations. Amber 999 said, I don't need anything, just want to send support. We love that.
Thank you.
Zach, $10. I'm coming for that number one spot. Shannon Keegan, $20. I know this isn't related to what is being talked about right now, but I've been watching your stuff for a few months now, and I have some extra money to spend and wanted to support a little.
Oh, thank you.
Love what you are doing here. That is fucking incredible.
That's dope.
Alyssa Roman 1999. What is the best way to approach a parent, family member, /family member about issues they are trying to recover from, the emotional and physical trauma they were put through, but is unsure the relationship is worth saving? You want me to read that again? Do I need to read that again? I feel like I need to read it again.
Yeah, that's a lot.
What is the best way to approach a parent / family member about issues that they are trying to recover from?
Meaning the parent and family member?
I would assume, I don't know.
Okay.
The emotional and physical trauma they were put through, but is unsure the relationship is worth saving. So this could be taken that way, or it could be taken that she went through the emotional trauma and is trying to address the parent and family members about it, but is unsure if the relationship with the family members or the parent is worth saving.
There's too many what ifs there for me.
Right. Let's clarify that. Alyssa, send us a comment so we know. Josella Marie, yes, my mother is happy to submit to my dad because he respects her. Code Award, $19, $19.99. Had to pop in while I could during a work break. Loving these love languages. Thank you, Chris and Peaches. Sabrina Hubbard, $4.99. In my opinion, I find the apology language is more important based in relationships because it helps resolve conflict much easier when it arises. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Okay.
Because I agree, but I also think that the biggest takeaway in that is what you said earlier when it comes to listening to empathize and understand what the person's going through.
Right.
Because then when the apology happens, there's a lot more understanding there. It's not just I'm sorry, go away. Mm-hmm. And I think that, when it comes down to it, if you're able to communicate and comprehend, get to the root, you're going to have a much easier time, and it's not going to be a blow up. It's going to be a simple conversation.
Yeah.
Midiat Gaming. Do you guys think it's wrong to initially apologize because it would be hard to progress the conversation otherwise? If you are apologizing without the sincerity behind it, you're only doing it to move the conversation along. Yes, it's wrong.
Yeah, that's just empty words.
Right. You're also taking blame for something that you may not have done.
Where's my notes? Hang on.
Every word.
Jesus. Oh, I have so many notes in here that I've never read on the podcast.
How come?
I don't know. Maybe they're just going to be in the vault.
You could do a whole episode based off your notebook.
Take them out whenever I want to. tease them and then put them back. Where is it? Page 36. We just did that. Expression of regret, apologizing. Shut up, stop. Okay, so I have 2 notes in here that kind of pertain to that. What was it? Do you guys think it's wrong to initially apologize because it would be hard to progress? Do you mean process?
Progress the conversation.
To progress the conversation.
As they move it forward, yeah.
You mean they're unwilling to talk about it until you apologize?
Could be. Or that they're hung up on something.
Okay, so unacceptable. I'm not apologizing for something until I fully understand why I would need to apologize. I'm not apologizing for an action that I don't understand how it could bother somebody.
Right.
If I throw something away and someone's like, that offended me, you need to apologize. I need you to explain to me how I offended you because I'm not apologizing for throwing my trash away. So an expression of regret should not be an attempt to manipulate the other person into reciprocating. So if you are apologizing just to get the conversation to move along and like get over that hump, that could be a form of manipulation.
I agree.
Apologizing to get your partner to shut up or to stop them from continuing to confront about the same situation is also you don't apologize to do that. You don't apologize to just get them to go, okay, you said I'm sorry, I'm going to move on from this point now. Make sense?
So for the, wrong button. So for the people who do the repetitive conversation piece when they're angry, how do you deal with that?
Where I've already apologized and they keep going?
Yeah.
I would say you're repeating yourself. I just acknowledge that this has bothered you. I've taken responsibility. I've told you that in the future this will no longer be an issue and I will take the actions necessary to correct it. I'm not apologizing for this again.
And the another thing that you can do is ask them what has happened that's made them not feel heard. Because in that scenario, normally when people repeat themselves, it's because they don't feel like they're being heard. They don't feel they're being validated. They don't feel they're being understood, or they're still really fucking aggravated about what happened. So they feel the need to continue to harp because in some cases, people want their person to feel like they're feeling. So in that situation, would you actually say that to them?
I would ask them, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would definitely say I'm not apologizing for this again. But I would say, how do you feel like I haven't heard you? Because I just laid out how I've acknowledged all of this.
Right.
So how do you still feel like I've not expressed regret?
Yep. Okay. $20 from Zach says retracted.
Retracted? Retracted what?
That's what it says. Do you know when you walk away from a parent when they are stuck in the victim mentality? How do you know when you walk away from they're stuck in the victim mentality, you can't take accountability for anything they have done? Look, I'm not the one to ask about this.
Walk away.
Yeah, because I will cut fucking family off like they're cancer. I'm not playing that game. You're either going to be in my quality world and be a quality person, or you're not going to be here. I'm not accepting anyone that disrupts my peace. I'm not accepting anyone that brings consistent drama into my life. I'm not accepting people who try to use and manipulate me or try to force me to do something that I don't want to do in any fashion when it comes to control. This relationship that I have with anyone is going to be an ebb and flow. I'm going to do for you, you are going to do for me, and we are going to respect each other. The moment that respect falls short on either side, I am fucking ending that relationship, cutting them off like they are cancer, and pushing them right the fuck out of my world. I don't tolerate that shit.
Me either.
I will give people like, hey, what you just did is really fucked up and it bothers me, and we can have a discussion about it. But if that behavior continues, you're showing me who you are. I don't have the time or the patience for that.
Right.
I'm happy. Overall, my life is amazing. If somebody comes into my life and starts to poison my well, can't drink that water anymore.
Yeah.
You got to go. You got to go.
You were saying all of that, and I just realized the reason I don't have any friends is because majority of the time when I had friends, I would always hear, oh my God, have you heard who's talked shit about you?
Yep.
I'm good on that.
Yeah.
It just, I mean, all that gives me when I hear that information of people talking behind my back is, okay, well, they're no longer welcome in my life. You coming to me and telling me that is just spreading gossip, though.
Yeah. You know what you say to those people? Tell me why they were comfortable saying it to you.
And not to me.
Right. Because I would remove that person from my life too. And normally when you say some shit like that, it makes them realize what they look like in the moment and they stop doing that shit. I don't do the gossip thing.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if people don't like me. My life is dope. You can dislike me from over there and I'm going to continue to be happy doing my thing.
Mm-hmm.
You not liking me is a you problem.
Not affecting my life
At all. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Cerulean Firefly sent $35 saying, just trying to make Zach spend more money. Let's see if she baits him.
She did just bait him.
She did. Let's see if he takes the bait.
He said, all right, listen here, fucker.
That's
hilarious.
Kylie Mills said, thank you for the support during a hard time. She just signed up for 2 months of membership.
Oh, thank you, Kylie. Yeah. AJ said, Zach, don't call our community fuckers. Call them fuckers.
That's funny. I feel like we're really in an evolution with the pod right now.
Yeah.
I do. I feel like there's a lot of things happening. Also, you guys see that curtain on the left side of your screen behind Peaches? Before I pointed that out, did you notice that that was there? Because it fucking drives me nuts. I'm going to have to buy that divider just to hide that because I can't get rid of that door.
So you said it drives me nuts. In my mind went, she drives me crazy.
Ugh. Yep. Do you think that because we recorded episode 25 today, which puts us at like a young adult phase of the podcast.
Yeah.
And with the growth that we've had, obviously we've put out way more than 25 episodes.
Correct.
Because we've been doing at least 2 releases a week since we started.
Yes.
And now we're up to 3. I really feel like
he got baited.
I really feel like we are changing the way the podcast feels because we're not doing repetitive emails anymore.
No.
Getting to the point now where when an email comes through and it's something that we've addressed, I don't even I respond to them and tell them to just go to YouTube. This has been addressed on multiple episodes. Go watch the YouTube channel. Instead of moving it into a folder for us to read it so that it can get we don't have to waste our time with those.
Right.
How do you feel about hey, yeah, baited. What do you feel how do you feel about what things are happening, how things are happening? We've moved to, we're still doing emails obviously, but like we've been doing a lot of side piece episodes and pre-recording those and moving the book readings into Wednesday live streams. Do you think it's going to change the way that you and I interact on the pod because the conversations are going to change?
Yes. I think we're going to have more fun. I think it's going to get back to that feel of joking and having a good time versus we've already said this.
Yeah.
You clearly don't watch our content. We've already said this.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I thought about maybe
Oh, that was my tummy.
Cerulean Firefly said, try again, homie, and send another $20. I don't remember even where I was going with that now. I actually had something that I wanted to say about all that, but I actually thought about taking the email off of the link tree on TikTok because the people that don't watch the full length pods are asking questions that we've answered 6 or 7 times.
Right. They said, well, we've seen your TikToks all over the place.
Right. Yeah.
Go check out the YouTube.
Yeah. I think that as we move into more conversation pieces where we're still doing emails, but like just having regular conversations would be beneficial. Somebody just asked if we read thank you emails. So would you guys read a thank you emails? We read thank you emails. We read all of the thank you emails that come through.
Right.
We just don't always read them live. We do read some live thank yous. We've done whole episodes that were just thank you emails just because it gives a break in the monotony. So, Clarissa, are you asking me, will we read them live or do we read them? Because it's 2 different questions. Jessica Danley said, Chris and Peaches, so I have a photo shoot tomorrow and I'm super nervous because it's someone that was a runoff years ago by a not great client. Any advice on keeping my anxiety in check?
A runoff?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Because it's someone that was run off years ago by a not great client.
Like ran off from you? Like appointments were made and they decided last minute not to work with you?
I am super nervous because it's someone that was run off years ago by a not great client. So it sounds to me that she had the client, another client that was a pain in the ass, talked shit and got them to leave. That's what that sounds like to me. When it comes down to it, if you're good at what you do, you don't need to have anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
You do your job. Go in there like you know what you're doing, because you do. If people are paying you to do a job, you obviously know your fucking job. Hopefully you know your job.
Right.
Do the best job that you can do. And you know what I mean? Like, I hope that you guys have contracts. If you're a photographer, you need to have contracts.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that thing that was going around where a woman got married, paid like $15,000 for wedding photos, and then like 6 years later got divorced and emailed the photographer and asked for a full refund because she doesn't need to divorce the photos anymore? Threatened to sue him. Yeah, there's screenshots of it. It was on, it might have been Petapixel. It was on one of those big like f-stoppers or something. It was a huge article.
Ew.
Yeah, can you believe that? Like,
yeah, sue me.
Yeah.
Let's go to court. You're gonna look like a fucking idiot.
Yep. You guys need to also remember that anxiety is a physiological response. It's because something inside of your body, it's triggering fight or flight. Mm-hmm. That's essentially what anxiety is.
Yeah, and it's not accurate a lot of the time.
It's not.
No. Because
we don't have real stresses anymore.
Correct.
We're no longer running from lions and shit in the jungle. Nothing's trying to kill us every day besides the government. So, and fast food chains, but that's a whole nother discussion. Sabrina said, just want to say that I'm new to your podcast. I just listened to the first episode and cried. So much of what you talk about hits home for me. Love that. They get better. I think we get more comfortable in front of the cameras and talking, and then they get a little wonky because we get tired of stupidity, and then we've dialed it back.
Yeah, there is definitely a rough patch.
Yeah, from like 18 to 21 is frustration.
Yes, it's a lot of, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that little patch is the first 4 seasons of South Park for us.
It's funny. Clarissa said, what is the biggest piece of advice for people struggling with comprehension over just hearing?
So when you just hear, you're waiting for your turn to speak.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you already want to say. You're already hung up on whatever they said 5 minutes ago, and that's going to be the point you're arguing. You're not really actively listening to what they're saying in the moment.
Yep.
So when you are comprehending, you are not repeating something in your own mind. You are hearing what they are saying. You're repeating it, what they just said in your mind, and you're going to repeat it back to them.
Yep. The repeat it back to them is the big part.
When you're able to repeat it back to them, that's when you know you comprehended and digested what they said.
Right. And if you didn't, they're going to tell you. Mm-hmm. And it's a good thing to take a minute, breathe for a second, make sure that you understand, repeat it back to them. Doesn't take much. My husband told me he is unhappy with our relationship. We agreed to work on things and that I would be more intimate and affectionate towards him, but he told me it seems not genuine.
I'm going to need you to repeat that.
I have a question. My husband told me he is unhappy with our relationship. We agreed to work on things and I would be more intimate and affectionate towards him, but he told me it seems not genuine. There's not really a question there. It sounds more like a statement.
There's so much more information I need.
Yeah, I agree.
How long have you been together? How long has this been an issue? How many times has he brought this up to you? Are you doing this with the air of I'm doing this because you said something about it?
Right. Well, intimate and affectionate sounds like it could also be for like sexy playtime kind of thing and not actual fixing the intimacy in a relationship. Because intimacy can look like holding hands in the car. Intimacy can look like a lower back touch as you walk by, or an ass slap in the kitchen, or a walk up and kiss on the neck, or come in with your phone on and hit play and dance in the kitchen. Like, intimacy is so much more than just going to bed a little bit early to fool around. Cerulean and Zach are really going back and forth over this top spot. He was like 501. He's like, sure about that? She's at $6.99. Sure about that? Alyssa said, the advice you are giving is really helpful. Also, I'm pretty new here. Thank you.
Well, I love that.
Thank you for joining us. Zach, $10. Pretty sure, just like I'm sure you should like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you do like to support the podcast, consider joining Patreon at VIP tier so you can join the Discord.
I love the Discord.
I was just about to say that. I have since joining the Discord and like creating that community there, my social media time has diminished.
Oh yeah, I'm not on TikTok as much.
Dude,
I haven't been on Facebook in months.
Yep. If it wasn't for the amount of notifications that I get through the businesses on Facebook, I wouldn't get on there. I get on it out of habit. Like just as I'm clicking shit, like I'll go to get on Amazon and open Facebook because it's a habitual thing.
Yeah.
But as soon as I realize that I'm scrolling, I shut it. And like my TikTok, I've been on my FYP once in 2 months. And it was the day that I recognized that Podheads was in the hospital and texted him. And it was like second video. And I was like, oh shit, he's in the hospital. And I closed TikTok and like went to texting, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't surf Instagram anymore either at all. And like that's their fault. Instagram should have stayed photos instead of trying to compete with TikTok because they drove away their actual following, like their user base. That was really big for photography and for just showing your life through photos. Like that was such a cool thing and they fucking ruined it. If that was just photos still, like look what I'm doing. I'm at Disney. I'm having a grilled cheese sandwich with jalapenos and tomato soup or whatever.
Ooh, that sounds so
I would
good.
be more invested in that than Reels and you trying to compete with TikTok.
Yeah.
Just Delaney said, Danley, damn it, why do I keep saying Delaney? Danley, I do have contracts, thankfully. I know that my contracts are generic and I need to alter some of the things in them. Just struggling with figuring out what parts to keep and what to cut out. So when you guys are doing these shoots, because you didn't specify what it is that you're doing. I don't know if you're doing a wedding or if you're doing an engagement or boudoir or if you're just taking modeling photos for somebody that's an influencer or wanting to be an influencer. I don't know what that looks like. But when that comes down to figuring out what you're shooting, the next thing that you need to figure out is your location because that matters. Your background is going to matter a lot with your photos. I truly believe as a photographer that your prep work is going to dictate the outcome of your photos. The more you dig in the beginning, the better it's going to be long term. Yeah?
Yeah. That reminds me, I need pointers on those engagement photos.
thing. I'm probably just going to go with you.
Yeah.
Yep. What happens when you have a Chris and Peaches addiction? Do y'all take emails for that? LOL. My kids and friends all know that when I have my earpods in, I'm listening to To Be Better.
No way.
That's what it says.
That's crazy.
Yep. I actually thought,
little
yeah, I actually, so AJ sends me these screenshots and I was like, AJ, you don't have an addiction. Stop it. Cause I didn't read the person's name. Had a total dumbass moment.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
That's crazy to think about. It really is. That someone's just listening to us ramble.
That validates the hours upon hours of reading.
Oh my God.
The in-depth conversations that we've had, knowing that not everybody needs to hear what we're saying. There are people out there that genuinely think that we're dumb as fuck. But there are people out there whose lives are improving because we're doing the work and sharing it. Shit makes me feel good.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, now I'm tapped and I want Zach to really have to fight for this one. She sent a $75 super chat.
Holy shit.
Yep. Midiac Gaming, this may be out of pocket. How do you communicate to someone that you love them who has past trauma with people using them? Is there a healthy way?
Okay. What are you going to say?
Somebody else's past trauma is not your problem.
Right.
And do not try to get into a relationship with somebody who has not worked through their fucking demons because they are going to destroy your life. Somebody holding on. We talked about this in episode 25. It's not going to come out until fucking next month at this point. It might be the end of this month. Either way, when you have somebody who lives in their past, it is definitely affecting their present and it is going to destroy their future.
Yeah.
Things that have happened to you in your past are in your past. There's nothing that you can do about it other than accept that it happened and move on. If you mark everyone else in the world as the enemy because they could potentially do that, you are doomed for the rest of your life to never have any quality in your world. It's as simple as that. I think that if you're in love with somebody who's got a lot of past trauma and you think that they may love you too, then you need to sit down and have a whole lot of courting and like real in-depth conversations about what their future looks like and what they need from somebody in their world. Because they may have a whole lot of unnecessary demands that you may not be willing to meet or unable to meet for that matter.
Right.
I appreciate you guys letting us send thank you emails. Made me feel good to hit send on it. All right, I'm tapped out now. for Danielle 999. Danielle, did you finally send us a thank you email, or did you send us another email? Because I feel like I'm missing something. Now.
Cerulean Firefly sent $3.01. And she said, actually, that number is really bothering me. #fix it.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Great Wolf Tactical said, healing has taken place and a man has found a wife. Do you think having a wedding is worth it if you can do it without debt and without getting the government involved? That's a loaded question, and I have a couple things that I want to get into. First and foremost, Great Wolf Tactical is a business owner who is in the men's group on Discord and somebody that I'm hoping to interview on Monday at some point. So if you are into wanting to know about business and things like that and you have questions and you're in Discord, I need to know so that I can add him or put it onto my questionnaire. This is going to be my first actual interview with somebody.
So are we not recording Monday?
It'll be Monday evening while the kids are here. I'm just going to close the door and do an interview with them.
Okay.
Because I've gotten a bunch of questions from Discord that I want to ask him, and I just want to have like a man-to-man, for men kind of thing. I mean, it's just, if it works out great and it's a trial run. Last time we did a trial run, it was a fucking disaster. So hopefully this one's a little bit better. So as for that, there are benefits to having a legal marriage. You get insurance breaks, you get tax breaks, you can claim head of household. There's a whole lot of things that make it worthwhile for you to have them legally married to you. But I don't believe the government should be involved in marriage, period. With that being said, that is legally binding. I think that a prenuptial is important, and I think that a wedding is more of a ceremony, and it should be for the two of you. So if the two of you want a wedding ceremony, have at it. If you don't want a wedding ceremony, take a vacation. Like, I don't know. I do believe that you can exchange your vows and make a covenant between you and your partner and God. And it would mean more, and as far as I'm concerned, than any government piece of paper will.
Right.
Especially if your faith is involved in it. Yep.
Patron.
We've gotten a bunch of them since we've sat down. Yeah, I think that's the 4th or 5th one. Car B said, at AJ, question for them. Chris, what is your favorite form of self-care? Meaning you, not
Meaning me.
Yeah, they actually spelled your name almost right, too.
My favorite form of self-care? I don't have a favorite form of self-care. I have the one that I do most frequently, but then I have different things that I do to fill a certain need. What the fuck, Zeke?
I saw that.
He said fucker. So
you don't think your bath is your favorite form of self-care?
No, my favorite form of self-care is taking care of my skin.
Right. Wouldn't that fall into your bath routine, though?
No, because taking care of my skin is also taking care of like my facial routine and stuff.
I wouldn't peg that. I'd have pegged you for a bath person.
I love my baths. I do.
Yeah.
The root of my self-care is my skin and my teeth, my hygiene. So I would say that's my favorite thing to do, is to pamper my body.
I like it when you pamper your body too.
I have lotion socks that you very actively attacked in episode 25 today.
AJ asked me like a week ago, how did he word it? I'm paraphrasing and it's probably way off, but what I took from it was, what is the thing that Chris uses on her feet to not make them feel like sandpaper? And like, I was like, hang on, man, I'm in the middle of something. And like 2 hours went by and we had already had another conversation about something. And I was like, silicone socks. He's like, what the fuck is a silicone sock?
Silicone sock.
Yeah.
It's put it on my feet with lotion in it for 25 to 30 minutes. Take it off, give them a little massage. Soft. Can't be scratching you when my feet are on your chest.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point too. And that is a great place for your feet to be.
It is.
Second to over my shoulder. I haven't stopped listening to Be Better, LOL. I've been on this for like almost a month and trying to catch up, and I haven't yet. I love it, and it's helped tremendously. Even my fiance tries to implement. I love that. When you do get caught up, just know Patreon exists, and there's a whole bunch of shit there that nobody else has seen yet, unless they're part of Patreon. Jen Ardito said, I have the earbud thing too. Even my husband sends a reminder dinner early. It's Thursday live. He knows that we eat at 6 instead of 6:30 on Thursdays and makes it a point to be home and eat.
No way.
I love that.
I love that too.
Yeah. Cheyenne May at AJ, I need advice on how to apologize for something, but my husband doesn't want to hear I'm sorry.
Ooh.
That means that your husband wants to see change.
Means he's over it.
Yep.
This is probably a repetitive thing that's been brought up, and there's only ever been I'm sorry's.
And no change. Yep. There are a lot of people out there that don't want to hear the shit. Show me. Like,
yeah, start implementing the change.
Yep.
Quit talking about it. Be about it.
This one that we did tonight was called Accept Responsibility. That's the first part of the apology to me.
Yeah.
You accept responsibility. I did that shit. Take the accountability. And then I'm going to start making changes to do it. I don't need to hear I'm sorry. I really don't. I just need to know that you are aware that you did the shit and that you're going to start making changes to make it better. Do you have any suggestions for traditional couples to follow on YouTube or TikTok? I want to surround myself with like-minded people. To Be Better Peaches, To Be Better Podcast on TikTok. Both of those are really good accounts. You should follow those if you don't.
Yes.
I'm assuming you do, though, because you're here. As for Life of Baker is one on TikTok that we both follow. She's the one that does the farm stuff. Henry and Victoria Doss. I got to be honest, those are the only two that I can think of off the top of my head. I don't TikTok much anymore.
Don't either. There's that one chick. Hang on. Teal Swan, I think her name is. I want to say Teal Swan. Like the color teal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Teal Swan. I follow her.
The actual answer to that, Lindsay Flynn, is if you want to surround yourself by like-minded people, join our Discord.
Yes.
Yep. Crystal D. Hill. For the longest time, I have looked for my purpose, and you guys helped me find it. Find that in my role as a caregiver and a wife. There is no way for me to share that gratitude, the gratitude that I feel with you both.
That's crazy.
I think there's a way. You could send us an email and tell us how your life has changed and how knowing what your purpose is has changed your life.
What is the purpose?
Right. To be a caregiver and a wife.
Okay.
How
was that realization for you?
Yeah.
Have you always had the mindset of an independent woman? Were you like, fuck all men or caretaker, right?
Yep.
Like stay-at-home wife or like an actual caretaker?
Well, this is caretaker and wife. So, I mean, technically falling into that traditional woman role does make you a nurturing caregiver.
Yeah.
That's kind of your role in things. So I guess I could see how that would work.
Would you say I'm nurturing?
Yes. Yes, I would. I would say that there's a supportive nature about you that makes that a thing. You don't coddle. There's a difference, right? Like you coddling and babying is not nurturing.
Yeah.
It does more of a disservice. You don't do that. So, your ability to stand as a support system is a nurturing thing for you.
Okay.
Our life is a little bit different in that aspect because we're grinders. Like we both go get shit. Like we're not sitting around fucking off all day long and like spending hours in front of the television. We are really fucking living a life that a lot of people don't do because of the amount of time that we spend doing everything, business and...
That's crazy because I actually feel really lazy in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yet there's days that you're like, I just fucking need a down day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Great Wolf said, my ex would change slightly for a week, then revert back. By the end of the marriage, it was a day or two, even with me breaking down. That's wild. How do you heal from cheating and learn to trust more? Here's a question.
Okay. You asking me?
Well, I'm going to ask her. It's from Alyssa Roman. So she says, how do you heal from cheating and learn to trust more? How many relationships have you been in, Alyssa? Let's say you've been in 25 relationships and one of them cheated on you. Are you really going to compare the other 24 relationships to the cheater and say that everyone's just going to cheat? People do shitty things. There are shitty people out there.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot live your life assuming that everyone is going to do horrible things to you, because then you're going to be sheltered, lonely, and end up a Catwoman when you're 60. You're going to live a very lonely life because you're going to think that everyone out there is just going to do you dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Is the chances of somebody else doing you dirty in life? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, there's a very high probability that people are going to fuck you over. That's just the way people are.
Mm-hmm.
Pick quality people.
So they can certainly try.
Yeah.
If you stand your ground and you look for the red flags, they won't be able to.
Yeah.
But people will always try.
Yeah. Find people that have the same values you have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's say, like, here's the bar example. If you're courting someone and you don't want them going to the bar and you tell them that and they're like, you're controlling, fuck you, I don't want to be with you. Take that. Take it at face value. You're right. Let's have a great dinner. We can remain friends, and that's the end of that shit. I need to have an open phone policy if we're going to be in a relationship. Yeah, I'm not about that. Okay, cool. Next.
Word.
Like, don't settle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Donald D says, AJ question, what is one thing Chris and Peaches that the other did to give you that I needed that right now feeling lately?
What?
I don't know. Punctuation's not there. What is one thing Chris and Peaches probably said did that the other... I don't know. That doesn't read right. My brain's not comprehending that question. Oh, man.
I want dessert. Ow.
It's funny. I was thinking the same thing.
Ooh.
Yep. That dinner wasn't enough.
No, it
You know, as
wasn't.
soon as I was done eating, I was like, I need sweets.
Yeah.
Yep.
How'd you like dinner?
It was good. I enjoyed that bread with the butter thing that you did. There was a
That
spice
homemade-
to it.
That butter.
Yeah, there was a spice to it. It was good. I enjoyed it. The potatoes were good too. I hate chicken.
Yeah,
It doesn't
I
matter
don't
how
like
it's
the
cooked, I'll
chicken.
eat it, but I fucking hate chicken, so
I like the potatoes too.
yeah.
I baked them for the last 15 minutes in a chicken broth with herbs and garlic. I think it gave it a nice moisture to it.
You got your phone over there?
I do.
Can you check to see if there's anything in the cherry picked short that we can have a discussion about?
I know there is because I moved a couple.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Jennifer Reese, $9.99. Huge age gap with me and my husband. I was never sure how to deal with his BPD when it happens. I am now separating myself and giving him space, and I see the difference. Thank you both. That's huge, Jennifer. You are not jumping on the roller coaster when he's going through it, which allows him to run through it and process his shit without you getting emotionally involved and distraught. 3 books for everybody that's dealing with somebody with borderline is Stop Walking on Eggshells, Dealing with a Partner with Borderline Personality Disorder, I Love You, I Hate You, Don't Leave Me, and Buddha and the Borderline. All 3 of those books are going to help you deal with your person if they have borderline. More importantly, it's going to help you deal with you knowing that they have borderline.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm drawing a massive blank.
About what?
I don't know, I was going to say something, and it was very profound and prevalent, and it's gone. All right, so this email is called Relationships. Hello, I have a question that I wanted to get your opinion on. Do you guys have people outside of your relationship that you vent to and share stuff with?
About the relationship?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. So much so that even though I would like to talk to my adopted mom from time to time, I'm not divulging anything that could potentially be seen as negative about our relationship to anyone. Because if it's a problem,
Mm-hmm.
I need to talk to you,
Right.
not another person. You and I need to sit down and figure out what the fuck is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the important conversation that needs to happen. Venting to somebody else is not going to do anything other than give you attention.
Right.
Make you might feel a little bit better because you get it out.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that to your partner. Hey, this is really bothering me. We need to sit down and discuss it.
Right. More for Peaches. Do you have a girl best friend that you go to for advice and talk things with, or do you and Chris just share everything with each other? No. I mean, I have friends that we do activities together with. We have things in common that we discuss. Like I go kayaking. I have a friend who is like super into foraging and making homemade butters and jams, and we talk about that. I have a friend who is also religious, and her and I speak on motherhood and marriage and life experience.
I love that.
But I don't have a friend that I call and be like, girl, you won't believe what just happened. That I don't do that.
Do you do it about good things? Like, do you brag?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There are
Do you?
times. There are times I text Jackie and I'll be like, "Girl, you won't believe what Krista's did,"
Yeah.
and I'll go off, and she'd be like, "Yes, bitch, this is what you deserve in life. That man's taking care of you."
That's funny.
We definitely have moments. Yeah.
So you're getting attention in those moments, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just like you would be if you were speaking negative. The difference is you're not creating a negativity bias
Right.
with your friends towards me in the moment. You're creating a positive one. So in the event that we all go out together, they're not going to have an underlying fuck you tone towards me because they know that I treat you right.
Right.
And if you and I had minor disagreements, right? Like, this motherfucker didn't open the car door for 2 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you call and complain. And then next week it's something else. He forgot to get me mayonnaise when he went to the store. He didn't get the dish detergent I like.
Girl, all you do is complain about your man.
Right. So then when we're together, oh, that's your man, the fuck up that can't get anything right. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that shit's important, dude. I just don't, I love the bragging aspect. If you really need to talk to someone in your relationships that bad, you need to go to therapy.
Yeah.
Or you need to go to a priest or a pastor or whoever that you can talk to. I don't think that you need to bring in negativity unless there's abuse. The small things are nobody's business.
Right.
I don't know. I don't see how it's going to benefit the situation.
Yeah. I don't talk. I don't gossip.
Yeah.
When I have something negative going on in my life, I might call my sister. I never complain about anything to anybody. All I
Right.
do is brag about the good things. And if you and I encounter a disruption, nobody besides you and I know what that was about.
Right. Until we work through it.
Right.
And then we talk about it.
Then it's a learning lesson, right?
Right. You guys can learn from
Yeah.
our shortcomings.
There has never been a moment where my mom has known I had an issue with you and you didn't.
Right.
That's never happened.
And that's fucking good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Mm-hmm. And I don't remember what I was going to say.
You don't have to say anything else. That's it. You said it all. That's fucking spot on.
Okay.
That last line, that we've said it before, the moment you feel you need to tell somebody else about what's going on in your marriage, that's the very first indicator that you need to sit down and talk to your person.
Right.
Yep.
You want to do another one?
Sure.
This one is titled Scared. Scarred.
Have you noticed that Zach is holding top spot still?
Is he?
Yeah.
He did it. They challenged him and he laid his dick on the table.
I thought, I don't know why I thought she was ahead.
No. She popped back in to do the 301.
Oh, that's right.
make it
And then he
even.
did the 100 afterwards and said, fuck her.
And he was like,
Right.
Do you want to order dessert?
We can do that when we're done. Sit down and finish watching Terminator.
I have a confession. I slept through most of the beginning of the Terminator. I don't remember anything.
We can just watch the second one. The first one,
okay.
the first one is literally Arnold Schwarzenegger trying to kill Sarah Connor, and the guy that was sent back also ends up being John Connor's father.
Okay.
And he ends up saving her and killing the Terminator. That's literally the whole premise of the first movie. The second movie, Arnold comes back as a Terminator to save John Connor, and that's when things get good because John Connor actually exists. And then there's a couple of really good Terminator movies and a really slew of shitty ones.
Okay.
But
it felt good getting that off my chest.
I mean, we could have always just started it over.
Yeah.
I told you the first one wasn't very good. The second one is in my top 10 favorite movies of all time.
Really? The
Yeah.
second Terminator?
Yep.
Okay.
Because Arnold's a little bit older, still in really good shape for Arnold. I mean, he's fucking Arnold.
Right.
But Edward Furlong plays a pissed off adopted kid, and he just does a really good job. It's a good movie. I just really enjoyed the movie.
Cool.
Somebody wrote, I am on the autism spectrum and struggling to explain the importance to my husband of learning about it to better understand me. Any advice? How is it that you're married and your husband doesn't understand you?
Yeah. I feel like that's where we both went.
Right, because this courting phase is conversations. Hey, I have
Yeah.
autism. Hey, I have borderline. Okay, cool. I'm going to go research those things so that I know
Oh, yeah.
there could be texture issues. And if you come over and stay the night and I've got rough cotton sheets,
That won't be happening again.
right, it could be a problem.
Yeah.
Or if you get shitty and leave, my abandonment issues are going to trigger. We had to learn about each other to understand what's going on. You do that when you're still madly in lust with somebody because you're eager to please them and eager to learn. When you get married, if that intimacy is still there and you still have a good relationship with this person, wanting to please them should be a priority. So ask him to make you a priority. You're my husband. You're supposed to be my forever. I need you to read this. And then give him some fucking documentation.
You want to hear something stupid?
Always.
So I know I spent the night at your place. There was, when you would come over to my house and we would like cuddle and watch TV or whatever, there was one night you made an offhand comment that you hated the texture of my sheets.
Yeah.
I went out and bought new ones.
Did you?
Yeah.
I have a texture issue.
Yeah, that way when you would come over and hang out, you wouldn't be uncomfortable in my bed.
I love that. And I didn't even notice it.
No, you
What
didn't.
a piece of shit human being I
No,
was.
I think it was like an offhand comment of just like, I don't like this texture.
Yeah.
And I was like, done.
Well, I appreciated it. I mean, I didn't
You
know
never
it. I
complained
appreciate
about
it
it
now.
again.
Well, there you
Yeah.
go. Dope.
I was like fixed before he even knew it was an agitation.
Yeah.
Good wife material.
That's funny. William Stark, $5. Started watching this a little late, but I love the gut punches of realization y'all enlightened me to. Thank you for it all. Love that.
You're welcome.
Kate Ramirez, $1.99. My man called other girls pretty when I was pregnant.
Ooh.
What episode was the beautiful one? Do you remember that? What episode was that?
No, I don't recall. Got a lot of shit for that.
You got so much fucking hate.
So much hate.
I deleted it. AJ put it on Facebook, and the hate that was coming through on my phone because of the I can't turn the Facebook messages off, like the notifications, because I have to delete the app.
Yeah.
And Sacred is on there, and all of the other businesses are there. So when it just won't let me turn it off. I fucking hate it. But I had to delete the video because it was one after another, constantly, of people saying, "Look how insecure she is. This is bullshit. You're controlling. Why don't you just say that you fucking don't trust your person?" Da 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 da. How is it that anyone is going to be okay with your person showing another person intimacy on a level that is an emotional attachment like that, and just be like, "Yeah, you're not insecure. Go ahead, call other women beautiful." That
I have standards. I have
know,
standards in my life. I have high expectations. If you guys don't understand high expectations, I get that. You can live your life the way you're living.
Yeah.
If you're happy, hell yeah, bro.
But are you? And that's just it. Like,
that's why I said if you're happy, fuck
right.
yeah.
I just
if
don't
you're
think they
not,
are.
you should take a step back and reevaluate instead of shitting on me.
Yep.
And we did a follow-up video because that was really bothering you. And I was like, it doesn't bother me at all. And I really thought about it. And it's because words don't have meaning anymore to people.
Yeah. That sucks. That sucks because you, without having intent behind your words, you can't have honor.
Right.
You can't have loyalty. You can't have integrity. You can't have any type of true, like, this is what makes a man when there's no word. If you can't trust what's coming out of someone's mouth, everything is off the table. I don't know. That shit bothers me.
Yeah.
Ann Larson said, "Thank you for putting yourselves out there to help so many. I am 46, single mom of 3, almost grown kids, and you give me hope."
I love that.
Me too.
So you want to do this email?
Let me read one more because he sent me another one. This one says, "I'm in my first relationship that I'm not posting on social media. It's so much nicer with no one knowing my business. Also, I'm more accountable for myself." You don't have to post everything on social media.
No.
I know that for a long time, people used to joke and say it's not official until it's on Facebook. Why?
Right. Do you need the validation from outside that your relationship is real?
Right. If people really truly mattered, wouldn't you just tell them?
Right.
Instead of posting it vaguely on Facebook for others to see? Yeah. Let's run that email.
Okay. No, before we go on to the email, when we updated on Facebook that we were in a relationship, we didn't even make it a public post.
No.
There was nothing for people to react to. There was nothing, "Oh my God, you guys are together. Good for you. You guys are so happy together. Look at how cute you are." I want that attention.
Yeah.
I wanted people to know when they came to my profile,
That you
don't hit me up.
Yep.
I'm in a relationship. I didn't want all the validation of, "Oh my God, I need you." Shut up. I know what I have. I don't need you to tell me what I have on Facebook.
You fucking cocky bitch. You know, everybody has moments in their day to day where like they get the little victory,
Right.
and I'm sure that most people don't go victory or winning. I
go,
do.
"Ooh, that's cool."
I victory and I winning.
Yeah.
That's my mental thought when I get like little wins throughout my day, because those little victories let me know that I'm building to some bigger goal. And I don't ever just set the giant goal. Like our goal right now is ultimately 100,000 subs.
Correct.
Next goal is 75,000. We're at 65 right now. So 10,000 more subs puts us at 75.
Ooh.
Right. And then the next goal is 100. And then once we get to 100, it'll be 150, then 2, then 250, 3, 5, right? And like that's how my goals go. But every little victory is something worth celebrating because it keeps you on track. If I was to only focus on the 100,000 subs, all of these little subscribers that we're getting wouldn't matter to me.
Mm-hmm.
They fucking matter. And because I'm seeing them, it makes me want to go harder.
Right.
I have those victories with us. Like I hear
like you and I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not in competition with you and I, but like when we went to Wicked, right?
Yeah.
We had a really fucking dope drive up.
Mm-hmm.
Found the perfect parking spot. Was able to back in so I could get out of the parking lot super fucking quick when it was over. The people that sat next to us on both sides were very polite. Were from Fort Myers, so they drove even further than we did to see the show. Had an amazing show. Ran into people that recognized us, like all of it. Got emails, had conversations on the way home, and all I could think of is my life is fucking incredible. I have an amazing woman. I don't have any drama. I don't have conflict. I just had one of the best nights of my life. I'm not drinking. There's no drugs involved. My life is super fucking dope. And that's a win, right? So to me, I'm like victory.
Yeah.
When we get emails and we have things where people are doing shit that we did when we were in previous relationships or way younger, I always chalk that up as a win or a victory in my brain. I know that that's shitty, but like I feel like I'm in competition with everyone because it makes me want to like strive to do more.
I get that. When you don't look at other people and see what they have and go, damn, I want that.
Right.
Game on. You're complacent.
Yeah.
You're stagnant. You don't have ambition. You're okay with just living a life with getting by and not achieving goals.
Right.
I would rather you be competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to jump into the email or you want me to read these super chats?
Oh, yeah. Email. I'm not even. Okay. I just wanted to start this out by saying I'm young. I got married. I started living with my now husband right after high school, and I'm just not sure what to do. What a sentence.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when people send us an email, they are really putting their life into a story.
Mm-hmm.
You're verbalizing your experience on this planet in words for somebody else to understand. That's a really shitty sentence.
You know that we preach journaling quite a bit.
Yeah.
I believe that everyone should do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to journal and more private than just posting the shit to social media for everyone to see.
Right.
But when you send emails, you have to think about what you're going to say to somebody. Mm-hmm. And if you proofread the email, you get to read what's going on. If you don't have reflection and like...
If you just type it out and send it and don't look at it because it hurts too much.
But you still, even in just typing it, you have to have some sort of realization of what's going on in your life. That's got to be beneficial. Mm-hmm. It's got to help people. Like, I don't know. We've had people send emails and then send another one and be like, I just typed all this out. I've answered my own questions. Yeah. I'm good. You can just reject this or delete it or whatever. And like, I just move it to the rejected folder. Mm-hmm. You know.
It's not that I'm questioning our relationship or anything. I love him. I feel like he may not see my side of things. I've worked since I was 15, so for the last 7 years, I've been going to school and working part-time to working full-time and trying to make a home. I know that it's my job. I love it. I truly do. I just got let go of my job, and I tried talking to my husband about being a stay-at-home wife, making our house into a home, and really working on my mental health as my last job completely ruined it. Okay, so I want to go back to her saying, I know that it's my job. I love doing it. Do you mean that that's your path in life? As in that's your job? That was your job when you guys sat down and mapped out your relationship and who's doing what? Or is it just you believe as your job as a woman?
That's how I took that.
To be home and, okay.
Which I'm on board for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to bet that a lot of the men who are like, I would never do that. I would never support a woman. I would never let her be a stay-at-home mom. She's gonna have to work. Those are all men who truly cannot afford to be in that position to spoil their woman. Right. Which is why they spew that shit. Because it's easier to be the victim and change the narrative than it is to be like, I just don't make enough money because now I'm the problem.
Right. They're admitting weakness.
Right. Instead of going, well, she's just going to use me anyways, or whatever the issue is. I'm willing to bet that almost every man on the planet, if they are financially capable of taking care of their woman, getting her out of the workplace, why wouldn't you? For example, why have your woman submit to another person? Because in a job, unless she's the fucking boss, she's submitting to another person. Most infidelity happens in the workplace.
Right.
There's a whole lot of other issues that go on there. Why would you want to put yourself in that position? Not to mention the whole fucking benefit of kids with, you know what I mean? Like, anyways.
Right. He has told me that the chores and cooking aren't always my job, but they are. He works a manual labor job and is tired when he gets home, doesn't want to do hardly anything, so that puts it all on me. Going from working the same hours as him and coming home and cooking and cleaning takes a lot out on me. He tells me I wouldn't have to work full time, just enough to pay my bills, which are probably less than $600 a month. I'm expected to make enough money for us to pretty much live off of, because although he loves his job, he doesn't make enough to support the two of us. I'm just not sure what to do.
So it sounds to me like you don't really have a choice, because unless he's willing to go get a raise or do something else, he can't afford to support you. This is what I'm talking about. If he made that extra money, I'm willing to bet he would let her be a stay-at-home.
Right.
So what are you going to do as a man? What is your next steps to make that money? Are you going to get a side job? Are you going to get a new certification that you can then go to your boss and be like, hey, I'm a carpenter. I just got this new certification. I'm now worth $27 an hour instead of $22 an hour.
I can weld now.
Right. Yeah. I'm now a certified electrician as well as a carpenter and a welder. What are you doing to level up your life? Because I got to be honest, everything that you do that takes you up a tick in life is going to benefit everyone in your life, not just you, not just your woman. What happens when you go from welder to carpenter to electrician to HVAC to overall general contractor, and then 10 years from now, you've got a fucking business because your woman wanted to be a stay-at-home and you decided that you were going to be the man to step up and do that. That's how that works in my brain.
Right.
Everything correlates to longevity in your life and the easier your life is going to be. $600 a month is not a lot of money. You could DoorDash and make that in fucking a week.
Oh, yeah.
So in that scenario, why don't you quit and do the DoorDash thing and make that a thing for you? But she's also 22 years old. She said that this has been seven years that she's been working since she's 15. So she's still very young. I don't know how old her old man is, but people in their early 20s normally can't afford to support a family with one income. Was that the end of that one? Okay. So moving back to the super chats, unless you have anything else that you want to add, because there's 3 of them that I need to read.
Nope.
Cerulean Fire said, I just want to see 175 up there. Also because immense gratitude to Chris and Peaches for the guidance and the shove I needed to be better. Putting in the work every day. My ex-brother-in-law started listening now too. # share it.
I love that.
Yep. So you guys who do this, that share our content with people, that is the greatest thing that you can do. They say that in the tattoo industry or referral or in sales, a referral is the highest compliment you can get. If somebody says, hey, so-and-so sent me, that so-and-so sending you in there means that they have so much faith in what you are doing that you're going to do right by the people they care about, that they're telling you to go see this person. Tell them I sent you. Like they've attached their name to what it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
There is no higher form of gratitude, in my opinion. It's worth more than money, more than anything. So when you guys share this shit and you're like, hey, check out this podcast, these guys are amazing, you're putting your word on what we're doing. And it's flattering as a motherfucker, dude. I hold that shit in high regards.
It's like you're putting your character on the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it could go one of two ways. It could be like, holy shit, thank you so much for this. Or,
can't believe you listen to that shit.
I can't believe you.
Yep. That's wild. So yes, sharing the content is one of the greatest forms of flattery for us. 499. My boyfriend tells me I'm addicted to y'all because I listen to your podcast daily for hours. Are you okay with reposting nothing but your vids on TikTok? As long as we are tagged, like in, shared or like stitched or duetted from us, I don't care at all. The moment that you guys remove the ability for people to find us to share content means that you're doing it for the views, not to help us grow. So with that being said,
you're doing it to get views and monetary value off of what we're saying.
Yep. You know that account that people keep tagging us in that does the ASMR shit? Yeah.
Woodshop shit.
Right. I'm willing to bet that they're using other people, because it's not just us. They're using a lot of big creators' content to grow their channel. Once that channel's grown 500,000 subscribers, they can then sell that channel And the people who buy it can delete everything, and they start their YouTube or TikTok with 5,000 subscribers or 1,000,000 subscribers. People do that shit. They used to do it with World of Warcraft. People would grind the fucking shit out, get their crazy stats, and then sell it. It happens. It happens all the time. That's why when big accounts get hacked, it goes to other people. Yep. Brooklyn.
I can't understand people. I'm so fucking... Really?
Yeah.
People will steal content,
build a channel,
and then sell it. So somebody who didn't have to work and have the personality and the discipline
Yep.
to gain that many followers. Jesus.
You know that, like I said, it happens with video games too. It doesn't surprise me. People who have money will pay for just about anything. Mm-hmm. There was something else that I was going to say about that. I don't remember. This says, what is a good way to communicate that I want my partner and I to start rebuilding and working on our relationship together? You guys have made me realize how many shortcomings I have in my relationship.
That's how I would approach it. I would say, hey, these people came across TikTok, YouTube, whatever. I started listening to them and I recognized I have really not done right by you as my woman, and I want to work on things, and I want to make our relationship better. Yeah.
Then send them the gentleman or the check-in video. Mm-hmm. Go to tobebetter.co, download the PDF of the check-in, print that shit out, and be like, I've printed out this list. I would like to dedicate 2 hours this Sunday night when it's just you and I in the house to sit down and try this check-in. The worst that's going to happen is you and I are going to talk for 2 hours.
Right.
Best case scenario, we wake up on Monday morning and our life has changed. Mm-hmm. It's not going to hurt. Just sit down and have the conversation. Lay it all out on the line. Kylie Mills, $1.99. This live is saving me tonight. Thank you.
I'm glad it's helping you.
Yeah. Paige Kane, how to continue to grow and heal as a couple when raising toddlers too. We've been together for 12 years. We were kids playing adults, so now we are working through a lot together.
Kids playing adults.
Yep.
You don't recognize what it means to be an adult until you got a life depending on you.
Yep. That's why I tell people all the time not to have kids when they're super young. Mm-hmm.
So you have a toddler. Toddlers take naps. So say it's a day off. You both are at home. Kids sleeping. I know you are both exhausted and you don't want to. You need to sit down and you need to have conversations. Mm-hmm. You need to work through whatever is going on. You need to get back to where you were before the kid arrived, with the now new cognitive bias of being a parent and this is an adult life.
Right.
Yeah.
It's important to remember too to stay as a unified front. Mm-hmm. When you have two people working together to raise children, it's going to be a lot different than if one person is doing all the work and the other person's not involved. So knowing that the two of you are a unified front to make the children's life as best as it can be, you should be working to take the workload off of each other and to decrease stress as much as possible. That's going to help in the the growing and healing, because you're working for each other, not just doing it because it's got to get done kind of thing. That really comes down to perspective.
It does.
It really does, because you can take care of the kids because you need to, or you can take care of the kids because you want to make your woman happy. Doing it because you want to make your woman happy, the kids are going to benefit from it. Your woman's going to be happy. You get to feel like you're serving. And you get to feel like you're the man because of it. And a good dad. Like
that just checks so many boxes.
Right. And it's all because you chose to say, I'm doing this to make her happy versus the diaper needs to be changed. Fuck. Mm-hmm. It is truly perspective.
It is.
We're getting a lot of questions now that are not super chats.
Okay.
What is somebody, Clarissa said, what are their favorite books / podcasts? So one book, one podcast.
One book and one podcast.
Yeah. It doesn't actually have to be your absolute favorite, just a favorite book.
I don't listen to podcasts.
Okay. So then what's your book?
My favorite book?
Yep.
It's a fictional book, The Old Willis Place.
Yep. I think you've actually said that before on the pod.
I have, yeah.
I listen to a couple of podcasts, but I'm not consistent with any of them. Andy Frisella is currently my favorite podcaster. Mm-hmm. Tim Ross in the Basement, obviously, but I'm not consistent with my podcast because I'm not consistent with my free time.
Right.
The more I drive, the more I listen.
Everything in our life is sporadic.
Yeah.
So we get it in when we can.
My favorite Favorite book, I guess, series is the Game of Thrones series. I really hate that'll never get finished. I also really enjoyed the Going Home series by A. American, but that's because it was written about a post EMP event and the dude's in Florida, so it was good for me. All right, next question. What is the single most beneficial thing that you guys have gotten from the podcast?
The single most beneficial thing that I've gotten from the podcast?
Yep.
The rest of my life is going to be super dope with my husband.
Yeah. Ironically enough, that's it for me too. Yeah. Knowing that we have worked through more marital problems in 6 months than most couples will do in 30 years.
Yeah.
Because of these emails. If these problems start to come up in our lives, we're going to recognize it. Hey, this feels like that email that we read 10 years ago. Do you remember that? Like,
we're going to catch that shit quick.
Right. And it's a benefit. It is 100% a benefit. Our life is fucking dope as shit because we've learned to communicate on levels that other people haven't simply because of the podcast. I mean, we were doing the work beforehand, but
right.
That's it. That says hope to get, but I mean, that's what we've got. Yeah. So,
you know, I am really recognizing behaviors and emails, and I'm like, I do not want to do that.
Right.
So I'm starting to check myself on things that I would have never thought to check myself on before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sharon said, what made you guys decide to do the check-ins?
We recognized that in our prior relationships, communication was an issue.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to make sure that I was meeting your needs as your husband. And me being able to go, hey, are you happy? In the moment is so vague that you could be like, yeah, I'm having a good day. That doesn't answer my question.
Right.
But when you're sitting in my lap and I'm like, hey, how am I doing as a husband? What can I do better? What have I done really well this week? And what have I done bad this week? On a scale of 1 to 10, what's our sex life like right now? You giving me a report card means that I can step my fucking game up. That I didn't want to ever feel like I was letting you down and I needed to know where you were. So that's where the check-ins came from. We have done it so much that we don't really have to do it anymore. We've gotten so comfortable with talking that we don't have to actually sit down. If something's off, you're like, hey, you got a second? I'm like, yeah, what's up, babe? And we just have the talk.
Yeah.
And it's because we've done so many check-ins and done so much work that we get each other now. That is the most beneficial thing that's ever happened in any of my relationships.
Yeah.
Figuring out how to word those questions and how to talk to you like that is fucking incredible. Yep.
I concur.
I talked to one of my coworkers about y'all and we talked about love languages and stuff. Now he started watching y'all and is going to tell his wife so they can watch together. I love that.
Love it.
When you guys watch and pause and then have discussions about what's going on, you're going to benefit a lot more than if you watch by yourself. Paige Kane sent $9.99 says, thank you. Somebody said you need to watch the Jelly Road episode of the Joe Rogan podcast. It aired today and was amazing for the first 45 minutes. I actually saw that pop up earlier, but I didn't watch it.
Do you guys know that Joe Rogan hosted Fear Factor?
I did.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Crazy.
Jenna Ardito said, how cool is it that you guys are a constant to so many people? People schedule their lives around you and your input.
That's wild.
It is
to
insane.
Me.
It is fucking insane.
What do you mean when I'm taking my morning hike that you're listening to us and having profound moments about your life?
Yep.
I'm cooking mac and cheese and you just figured out your childhood trauma? Stop.
Yeah. You want to know something really crazy? The only reason why this is even a thing is because these people actually want to hear what we have to say.
Yeah.
That's it.
They really care about our opinions.
We are literally two people in a relationship just living our fucking lives, having discussions about it because other people care what we have to say. How fucking wild is that?
It's really crazy, yeah.
Vanessa Ruiz, $1.99. Just recommended my 4th customer to your channel.
Love it.
AD said, at Jenna, they really do. I listen to their podcast every day after work for hours trying to get caught up on all of them. They've improved my communication with my boyfriend tremendously.
I love that.
Kate Steinbeck, $5. My ex cheated and makes it seem like he wants to fix things, but he's been living at the house of the person he cheated with. I'm so confused. So, does he really want to fix things, or does he need a place to stay and doesn't want to be there anymore?
I need you to read that to me again, please.
My ex cheated and makes it seem like he wants to fix things, but he's been living at the house of the person he cheated with. I'm so confused. Step 1.
Move out.
Move out. Get your shit together. Show me that you want to be a better man than what you currently are, because you're living with somebody that you fucked around on me with.
Yeah, I am currently not committed to you until you start taking the steps to show me that this is what you want. You need to move out.
Yeah. I would hit up that chick that he's living with or that person and be like, hey.
You guys in a relationship?
Yeah, are you guys still fucking around? Just curious because this happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. If you could give someone a piece of advice, can be anything about life, what would it be for each of you? One piece of life advice.
One piece of life advice?
Yep.
One piece of life advice. You go first while I think about mine.
Understand and know that everything that's going to come and go in your life is going to be a direct result of something that you've said or done.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts become your words become your actions dictate your future. I am so fucking in that choice theory, like, because it's something I've always believed, and now that I understand the logic behind it, it's changed my entire outlook on everything. You're in control. You're in the fucking driver's seat. Your life's not going to go anywhere unless you put that bitch in gear and fucking mash the pedal.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. What about you?
Every moment of your life, any moment in your life, you can make a choice that will change the course of it forever.
It's never too late.
It is never too late. You could have been telling yourself for the last 3 years, I'm going to lose weight, and you've never done it. You can make the choice right now.
Yep.
To dedicate yourself to losing weight, and tomorrow you start your journey.
Yep. You know that's actually a phrase.
Yeah.
People say the best time to do something is 10 years ago. The second best time is right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any moment in your life can be a life-changing moment. You just have to make the choice and actively do it.
Okay, so I don't know why he sent that one because that doesn't make sense, so I'm not reading it. Desk Clan said, my dad and stepmom started watching. They have been together for 23 years.
Ooh, I hope they enjoy it.
Sharon said, I cannot express how much y'all have helped us in our relationship. Vanessa said, I listened to you guys while making Subway sandwiches.
Love that.
We had Subway not too long ago.
Yeah, we did.
That's the first time I've had Subway in probably 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I was disappointed by it. The cookie was good.
Yeah, the bread was fucked up.
Bread was not great.
Yeah.
Not good mouthfeel. No.
AD Same said, my boyfriend has commented on how he's seen a change in me since I started listening / watching them.
I love that.
$2 from Chris Mitchell said, I asked my partner to listen once and he's hooked. Love that too.
Whoop.
Hope said, y'all have been a blessing to everyone that is a follower, how y'all present the message. And the point is easy to relate to, just starting to understand it, you know?
I do get just starting to understand it, and that's confusing.
Yeah.
Trying to understand and rewire your brain. It's a lot of things are in the air, and you're questioning reality and what perception's real and what perception's false and what's being clouded by past experiences and what actually happened, and you'll learn to navigate it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. $4.99 from John said, I love the content and currently using your stuff to take notes. Can't wait to make our relationship better. Jenna Ardito said, Chris, have you told Peaches she's pretty today? Lord knows she spent 2 hours on that hair just for you. I don't know if I told you you're pretty today,
No.
but I definitely made your day interesting.
You definitely expressed that you were attracted to me.
Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Y'all don't have to worry about what we do around here. Let me tell you, she fucking knows.
I like it when you call me ma'am.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
My head is so in the gutter right now. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Melissa sent $9.99. Just sending this because I love your content. I got paid just now and thought it was a sign to show more support. I did join Patreon and the Discord recently as well.
It's Lamandola.
Thank you. Is that somebody that you've interacted with?
I'm pretty sure we read her email.
Did we?
I could be mistaken, but this is the one who wants to open up a bakery.
Oh, love that.
I could be totally wrong. It could have been like a super chat or something we discussed, but if it's you and I'm correct, I love that you're in the Discord now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Guys, if you're in the Discord, you're not active, you really should be. Really, really should be. Hannah M, 499. I respect you two so much. My question is, what are the unimportant things when looking for a partner that people today say are actually important?
How often they're on social media. Like if they're frequent on social media, it's a good thing. Or if they don't have an active Instagram, they're creepy.
People say that?
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
I have seen chicks go and hunt down every platform of social media, and if he's not on at least like 6 of them, they won't even interact with him.
I'm not on 6.
Yeah, I'm a very private person.
I
I really don't use any social media platforms besides Discord now. TikTok.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the people say is actually important because I don't have those discussions. The emails that we get are people trying to fix their lives. Mm-hmm. I think the important things are actually learning people, courting them, dating them, like spending the time without being sexually intimate and like doing the work. The unimportant things are
how they put on their pants.
Yeah, like
how they put away towels.
Yeah. Yeah. Not making the laundry to the laundry basket.
If they have a decompression time that is not harmful to their health or to others, like drinking or doing drugs or escapism for 8 hours on a computer.
Yeah.
If they have a decompression time of going for a jog or reading and they need an hour for a bath or whatever, that's okay.
Yeah, it is. It's healthy.
It's okay to be an individual.
Yeah. Sarah said, your talk the other day about not being able to prevent your partner from cheating, therefore it poisons your relationship to worry about, really helped me.
Dope.
Court said, my fiance recommended y'all to his therapist, and he is going to be recommending it to his other clients.
No way.
He said, best podcast he has listened to. That is such a huge compliment.
It really is.
Yep. And
it really is.
If you're a therapist and you're listening to this, please send us an email. I will take your criticism, your constructive criticism.
Oh, yeah.
To heart.
Oh, yeah. I've really been thinking about going and doing online schooling to get a degree in psychology. Yeah. Yeah.
I wish that we could have gotten some of those coaching courses done. Shit was too expensive. Mm-hmm. Hi, I'm Joka, who's a member of the Discord, said I was editing the pod today and my mom said that she thought Chris was a douche the first time that she heard him. She said she kept listening and came around to like you. She's only dealt with my dad. Jen Ardito sent a $4.20 super chat. Peach's impression 420. You know what time it is. Zach said you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. You know, they say the hardest belt to get in jiu-jitsu is not a black belt.
What is it?
It's a white belt. Because the amount of people that want to start that never get their white belt. There you go, Zeke. There's a new thought for you. Chastity Boyd, $4.99.
Thank you.
Nothing sent. Jessica Piotr. I knew that because I said it right the first time. The way you two are together makes me so happy. Chris's giggle and Peach's smiles are perfection. I don't think you guys realize how fucking stupid we are for each other. Like this really, we've had people say this is an act. I fucking promise you this is not an act. It's not.
No.
The amount of stupid shit that we say and do to each other to make each other laugh, and the intent, like intentional flirting and the prolonging everything and like fucking with each other in public to make sure that we have sexy time later on, and like I don't know. I don't understand how people could be in a relationship and not what we have now that I've experienced this level of fucking intimacy.
I don't know.
Melissa said, was a super chat, but I was the one that wants a bakery. I'm sort of active in Discord, but my name is different there.
Okay.
Vanessa Ruiz said, $4.99. If the bread was hard, it was either old or toasted too long. I love putting on my husband's shoes every morning.
I'm so confused. What?
She's a Subway worker. The one that works at Subway.
Gotcha.
She's telling us why the bread was fucked up. Chastity Boyd, what would be the best advice you could give to a young couple with kids? Be present for the children. Don't just be there. Be present.
Learn to maintain your storm.
Yeah.
Don't take your overwhelmed, overstimulated frustration and anger out on the children just because they're within your vicinity.
Crystal said, which episodes are y'all's favorite for the experience that unfolded in them?
It's all just one long episode to me.
Yeah. I think our very first episode, because of the email that we got, it was one of the most impactful emails that we've got and showed us that we were doing the right thing by what we were doing. So episode 1 is a big one for me.
Yeah.
I have memories. I can't tell you what episodes they're on, but I have memories. Like I know that there are people who have ripped up divorce papers, people who have set them on fire, people who have corresponded with us over the last 6 months consistently, people who have gotten raises, people who have
open businesses,
learn how to talk to people, open businesses. Like those are the more meaningful things. It's dope that we're saving relationships, but watching people take control of their life and no longer sit in the passenger seat and let other people dictate what's happening to them is like the big deal for me. And that was also the first email. That chick was like, you guys triggered the fuck out of me.
Oh yeah. And she hated us.
Yeah. But then she's now got a dope marriage and like, yeah. Zach said, here's the thought for you, Chris. A master has failed more times than beginners have been afraid to fail. You are not wrong, sir.
Ooh, that is very true.
Yeah. Sarah said, my boyfriend is not a huge fan of the podcast yet, but I've noticed him lingering longer and longer in the room when I have it on.
You can't resist this.
It's funny.
The smoke?
No. It was just the cockiness and the smoke. It was just a whole thing over there.
The vibe, yeah.
I really do think that we're not everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay.
No, we're not.
You know, there's people out there that don't like the language. There's people out there that think I'm a fuckface. There's people out there that think I abuse you, that think that this isn't real.
There are people think that I am an absolute idiot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gender traitor, sexist.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get a lot of hate.
But on the other side of that, the amount of people that we've helped makes all of this worthwhile. So again, it comes down to the fact that you can like me like me or not like me. I'm going to live my life regardless. And you can either get on board with it or you can stay where you're at. It's not going to affect me one way or the other.
Yep.
AJ said my favorite is the one y'all had help because he was here.
Oh yeah.
Zach said at AJ, it's okay. They didn't say Zeke putting down the gun either. He didn't say AJ joining the podcast. It is 9:00. We are 2 hours. We've got like 5 or 10 minutes left in us, and we're going to wrap this up.
Yep.
So if you guys have anything else that you would like to discuss, now's the time to chime in. AJ said, Zach, I tried to pay Chris to talk to me. He actually did try to pay me.
Yeah.
Said that he wanted to pay me for 1 hour of my time.
What a ballsy move. Like, that was the way to do it.
He got my attention.
Yeah.
Because at first, you know how many people reach out to us? Hey, let me edit for you. Hey, would you like to be a part of next spam junk? Fuck off. If I needed your help, I would reach out to you. Your marketing doesn't work here, especially over email. So. Jessica Teeter said, I'm working on sending an email. I'm trying to be specific and explain in depth, so it's taking time. Don't make it one-sided. Try to put yourself in your person's shoes and come to the root of what's actually going on when you send the email. It'll help.
So I saw someone just ask, Chris, what changed your mind about wanting to be with someone with kids in the house when yours are grown?
Knowing that, oh man, that's a loaded question. So that's not a simple answer because it wasn't just one thing, right? You can't just be like, well, she did this, so there you go. It wasn't. It was that you treated me like a wife, that you saw all of my demons and didn't judge me for them. None of it ever got thrown in my face. I put you through the fucking ringer in the beginning.
Yeah, you did.
And you never ran from it. You never shied from it. You never showed weakness. You never turned it into like a huge fight. You were very understanding because you knew I was fucking going through shit. So there's all of that. I know that the kids are a temporary thing in terms of raising them, right? They really are. And I know that we can do a whole lot in life, even though the kids are involved or that you have kids because I've raised kids and I know that you can experience life with children. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to be responsible for raising children. And like, I didn't want to fall into that role of dad again. I wanted to retire and do that shit. But what's the point of retiring and being alone or living that life by your fucking self? That doesn't sound exciting. Wouldn't you much rather do that with somebody that loves you and like, you know that you love them? And like, I was in love with you. I'm madly in love with you. Like, that's never changed. So knowing how I felt about you and how you felt about me and all the other shit that was going on, the kids are a byproduct. Their dad's in their life. I don't really have to do shit with the kids. I choose to. You've never once asked me to step up and do shit. It's always been, you know, the only stipulation with the kids ever was that if you were going to be a stay-at-home mom, I had to help with the daycare. Mm-hmm. That was it. It's not hindering my life. The kids are not an inconvenience to me at all. Night terrors suck. Yeah. That's not fun. But I'm gonna be able to take part in raising 2 individuals into adulthood. 2 more individuals into adulthood. You know?
Yeah.
Flora said, now that you're toasty, do you have any conspiracy theories?
Fuck. I don't know. I've been thinking heavy about the JFK assassination. You laughing at me?
I am.
Why?
Because that was just a very random thing to say.
I've been thinking about that one. I've watched a couple of videos and documentaries and breakdowns, and the most logical thing to me is that the car was built unevenly. So like, it doesn't make sense because the bullet would have to go this way and then down and then out. And I'm like, no, the seats are just different heights. That makes the most amount of sense to me.
Yeah.
They were saying that there were multiple shooters and whatnot, and that's been heavy on my mind. That's another conspiracy theory. I don't know. Start hitting me with conspiracy theories.
I'm not going to be on here long enough for all that.
Okay.
Somebody did say that their daughter-in-law recommended us, and this is their first podcast that they've watched, so hopefully they're at least enjoying themselves.
Oh, I hope you are enjoying it.
Jumped over from TikTok. This was awesome. Thank you.
Hell yeah. Thank you for coming over here.
Yep. We're getting some super chats. Carly Moon, $1.99. How would you go about starting more flirtation?
By doing it.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah.
It's really not hard.
Just grab them.
Lean in and whisper, "Hey, I'm here to talk to you about your car's extended warranty." Because that is even though it's a joke, it's flirting.
It's intimacy.
You are getting close to that person through laughter.
Yeah.
You guys, people put so much thought into all of that, and it can be something as simple as holding a big toe. Mm-hmm. It does not take much to start it. You just have to realize, what are you smirking at?
It's kind of how I won you over, was all of my stupid little flirty things I would say to you walking up to your place.
Yeah.
You would open the door and I'd hit you with, "Oh, I don't recall requesting a Chippendales, but okay."
Those small acts of service and kindness go a long fucking way. And once you start and you get comfortable in it, it's very easy to keep it going. And when you notice that it's starting to fail, you take a mental note of it and go, okay, we're starting to slack. Let me step this game back up and get back at it. Yep. Zeke said we're all floating clouds of shit and stardust trying to hold ourselves together.
When you think about it, we're all being held together by different things.
Yeah.
I'm really hearing my lisp tonight.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it because you're high?
No, I think it's because I'm in pain.
Oh, because of your neck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody said, this is obviously to another part of a conversation. Princess Leia, I told him it didn't matter, that it seemed like he didn't want to marry me or anything. We had planned, and he goes, I never said that. What a fucking thing to be going on in the chat.
What?
Jenna said that my son does the extended warranty thing in my ear. That's funny. Somebody said, can we get a TikTok clip of Chris talking about him putting Chris through the ringer and she stayed without judgment? I'm sure that we can. We actually have people in Discord that does our timestamps. So if that's something that you guys want to see again, I guess we can. This will be on here, though. You guys can watch it again. I just looked at Moose and did the extended warranty thing. That's funny. All right, guys, we're gonna call it. I think, as I now want dessert and still have editing to do.
Yes,
oh,
yes.
Another super chat. You guys are great. Thanks for making me laugh and the insight. You guys have changed my relationship to the better and put things into perspective. Cerulean Firefly is another $10. I might have had to handle an outage at work, but I am back and I need to be back on top. Well, you better do it quick. Oh, she's on it. She just got it. She just took the top spot.
Oh, did she?
Yep. All right, guys. I think that's it. I think we're done for the night. There will be an episode premiering tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
AJ can tell you what it is. I don't remember what it is. It's one of the side pieces.
And then next Wednesday is when we're going to start going live at 11 a.m.
The 31st. I don't know if that's next Wednesday. It's Wednesday the 31st at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll start our live streams. Do you have anything that you want to say before we shut this down?
2 Wednesdays from now.
Okay.
Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for sharing the content.
Yeah, means a lot.
It really does. The only reason we're still doing this is because of the support. If we didn't gain this traction and have the followers and support we do, we would have never come this far.
Yeah, no, we wouldn't. It wouldn't even be a thing.
No.
My last thought on all of this is to pay attention to the next few side pieces that are going to be getting released, because there's going to be a theme. So like gaslighting and ghosting is going to be the last one that's just kind of an irrelevant thing. And then we do a courting dating one. We're going to replay the one that we had during last week's live stream.
Mm-hmm.
We've done when do you start treating them like a wife? What is the thin line between being treated like a wife or being used?
Mm-hmm.
We are slowly working our way through the process of what it looks like moving through the dating phases, I think, which is kind of dope. So, all right, guys, with that being said, we will see you on the next one.
Bye, guys.
Bloop.